And the dramatic horns bring us in to the beginning of Pen and Pixels. What's going on, everyone? Welcome, Goglings, Gogorifics, Gog peoples of the world. Welcome, everybody, to episode 458 of Pen and Pixels. I am your host, Arvin Elleron. This is the show that we do here every Tuesday from approximately between 4 and 4:15 p.m. Eastern to approximately 7 p.m. Eastern, focusing on story and narrative in games. And it is my great pleasure to bring you once again Dungeons & Dragons with By the Dice Roll. It's Ghosts of Saltmarsh. We get 2 weeks in a row. That's right, 2 weeks in a row we get some D&D on this channel. It is very exciting, and I can't wait because there's a lot going on, and yeah, there's a lot of things happening here as we're going to see. But before we get there, just a couple of reminders about ways to support us on the channel. If you haven't done so, please follow us here on GogCom's Twitch channel. Please make sure to think about subscribing to us here on GogCom's Twitch channel, and if you have not already done so, please consider clicking through and checking out our own channels, because we have our own individual subsystems and Patreons and stuff like that that we enjoy here. And so yes, all that stuff as we go forward. We have not yet figured out completely whether or not we will be back here in February. I can hardly dare to hope that we could actually have 3 weeks in a row by the dice roll. That would be amazing, but I don't know for sure if that's going to happen. If it does not, then I will be here next week playing some Airborne Kingdoms for the first time. But I do want to remind everybody that if you like this whole D&D thing, tomorrow night on my own channel, we will be back with Community Dungeons & Dragons playing Waterdeep Dragon Heist with the Shadow Crew. And then Thursday, the last stream of January for my channel, I will be on with Caves of Kood, a game near and dear to the hearts of many of the folks that you're about to see. So I'll be on there if you are interested in more of that stuff. And moving forward for a bunch of Eberron and D&D with the Expedition with the Mysterious Peaks and Beowulf and all kinds of other 5e compatible stuff that we've got going on. So definitely make sure to check us out on my channel as well. And tonight, I believe Kilgore Trout is going to be back playing, I want to say Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver, although I need to double check, but I think that's right, coming up in a few hours after we're done. But right now, the time has come for some D&D. And so I am going to unmute myself and apologize unreservedly to anyone I interrupted because I couldn't hear them. And then I'm going to unmute them. And last but certainly not least, I am going to bring you over to reveal the By the Dice Roll crew. We are back in full living color. Look at this. Everyone is here. Everyone is ready to go. And they are prepared to deal with either diplomacy or fisticuffs in the middle of quite possibly a group of suspicious cultists. I think it's going to be great. But before we go any further, let's introduce these lovely folks, starting with the person on the left of the screen. And that, of course, is the awesome and amazing Pyron Jade. It's good to see you, Pyron. How is life in the universe with you? And whom are you playing this evening?
Hello. Life in the universe are actually pretty okay right now. I am playing Waves Crashing Against the Rock, the Kenku Paladin, and I'm quite happy that I'm playing this tonight because I've got a little bit of the cold, so it's a bit in my throat and
Same.
keep me a bit sniffly the whole time. But I don't have to because as a Kenku, I'm using my trusty soundboard to imitate Kenku speech, which then again imitates other things. Um, so that is really nice. So yeah, it's me, waves crashing against rocks, or
There it is.
and if you want to see a nice picture of waves, I've put it on my Blue Sky account because I'm also where the sky is blue and the grass is green, so you can see a nice picture of waves over there. Just Pyron Jade on Blue Sky, and you can find me. Thank you.
Very, very cool. Thank you, Pyron. Always a pleasure. Very excited to have hear how Waves gets up to things today. Also excited, as always, to have one Darksaber 2K with us. Is that a Buster Sword that I see on your shirt today, sir? Is that?
It is, yeah.
It is a Buster Sword. Outstanding. Good work. I highly approve. But how's everything? First of all, as always, publicly, thank you for Dashboard and Moobot. How's life in the universe with you? How you hanging in there? And whom are you playing tonight, Saber?
Yeah, I'm doing all right, thanks. And tonight I'm going to be Morthrill Gagonian, Dwarven Artillerist, formerly of Lort Mill Mountains and now of Saltmarsh.
Who has just
and wondering what the bleeding hell Silvo's up to.
Yes, and who's just had someone being like, I don't know that I would trust them, and you being like, I agree, and then just staring at Silvo.
The whole party's like, we're following him now.
Yeah, exactly, because everyone's just like, but he's so decisive and fully. You're like, have I lost my mind? I'm very excited to see how Morthwill brings the recalcitrant members of his crew into line. We shall see. But always a pleasure, Saber, to have you on board. Also always a pleasure to have Wholesome Horror Gaming with us as he makes his return, the OG WHG, as they say. Good to see you, Mike. I hope all is well. And how's life in the universe with you? And is that, by the way, is that shirt... Is that just metal, or is that a Blood Bowl shirt, or is that just a metal shirt, like a badass metal shirt that you're wearing?
This is a Serarak from the cover of the 5th edition DM's Guide.
That's what I thought.
Or
I was
Monsters
like,
Manual. I can't remember. Yeah,
I thought that was
Serarak,
something.
And it says I think it says Master of Unlife on the sleeve as well.
Outstanding. Good stuff. Very appropriate, since that's who you'll be meeting today. I mean, not at all. That's
Absolutely.
not at all what's going to happen. But how
Dress
is life
for the job you want.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. How's life otherwise, Mike, and who are you playing tonight?
I'm doing really well. Not a lot of stuff has really happened since last week. I've been really excited to dive back in, to be honest with you. So today I'm going to be playing Silvo Janus Betulus, our half-elven aberrant mind sorcerer, who has tried to diplomacy his way out of fisticuffs with this lot and is probably succeeding, but is trying to find a bit of an out now because he's realized actually this is less of an organization and more of a cult of people. So we'll see how it goes.
It's more of a loose association of guidelines, so to speak. But always a pleasure to have Mike with us. Thank you, Mike. And also a pleasure, of course, to have Ananda back with us. Again, good to see you, Ananda. It seems like only last week that I spoke to you. How's everything in your neck of the woods? How are you doing? And whom are you playing this evening?
I am ticking along, thank you. It's so lovely to be back. Last week was the first time I've played D&D in too long. And in fact, yeah, I'm ticking along. I had second Christmas last Wednesday, which was lovely.
Nice.
And even though Francois had a small allergic reaction, he's fine.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm actually back streaming as of tomorrow for the first time in months.
Nice.
So I'm looking forward to that as well. But yeah, today I'm going to be playing Brian the Bloodthirsty, who's a Water Genasi fighter pirate. Every time I think of how this session's going to go, I think of the Mitchell and Webb scene where they look at each other with skulls on their hats and ask themselves, are we the bad guys? But we'll find out.
We'll find out, yes. the pirate who is loved by all, including all of these
Mhm.
cultists here, assuming they're cultists. Always a pleasure to have Ananda with us. And last but certainly not least, it is a great pleasure to have Bruce back with us. Bruce, who is well enough again to join us, and it's good to see you, Bruce. Again, Pyron did yeoman's work in piloting Green through both nasty encounters and nasty amounts of dirt. So you'll be happy to know that Green was maintained in some level. How are you feeling? How's everything going with you? And could you tell us a little more about the character you're playing this evening?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm definitely a lot better than last week. Still got a little bit of a rasp in my throat, but it no longer hurts, so it's all good. I've also queried literary agents with my book,
Oh, good luck.
allowing me to move on to my next book, and my mindset is much better. I was looking at my blog posts from last year, and the one I wrote was titled "Doomed to Fail Over and Over,"
Well,
and then the one I've released this year is so far is called "Bound to Succeed Eventually." So it's a big difference that being medicated for your depression makes. Anyway, everything's going great here, and yeah, today I am playing Green, the turtle priest. They're not called priests. I've forgotten what he is.
cleric.
He's a cleric, yes, thank you. A total cleric. And thank you for everyone who played him so wonderfully last week. I'm very happy to know that he was not eaten and was not made dirty. So, love to everyone. Though I'm a bit worried for him today because the last cultists he met did try to eat him. But I've been reliably informed that these ones won't, but we'll see.
So far. No, I'm just kidding. But I was, as I was saying about this with the local news, I don't think it was with you folks, it was my Eberron crew that does the local news always does the thing. My mom always used to notice this, where they'd be like, and blah, 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 blah. And so, the community can, is once again can rest easy, but for how long? Like everything was always like, but for how long will they be safe? So, we've got some of that going on. We'll see how things go, but always a pleasure to have Bruce with us. And yes, let us dive right in. Let's talk about what happened in our last session. And if you were with us last time, chat, you may remember some of this because it hasn't been that long, actually. Let me get rid of the combat music and let's put on a little bit of the Windswept Plains music, which is the outside, like that. Great, wonderful. Okay, in our last session, the crew, which has made its way to this island, this isle of this apparently cursed abbey, has come here for two reasons. Number one, because of the rise of undead, somewhat literal rise of the undead, in a lot of the places that they've encountered, which they had gotten a tip might be getting supplemented, supported, or at least enhanced because of whatever was happening on this isle, which is reported to have been a home to a group of evil cultists. And secondly, because this is one of the places through which any invasion of Saltmarsh, gathering a lot of troops from, let's say, the Sahuagin army, if such a thing exists, would pass by this area. And so the crew decided that it made sense to try to go here and to see if they could, in doing this, not only make things easier for them down the road, but also provide the last bit of information and evidence they need to give to the council, for the town council of Saltmarsh, to finally agree that there is a serious threat and they need to figure out what to do about this threat. The council seems to have been convinced that there is some threat, but this will give them a sense of just the nature of how much they're dealing with. And so the party came here, and after getting a little bit of information from a man that was the light keeper, basically the lighthouse keeper, they traveled on to the Skull Dunes, which turned out to be aptly named, because there are apparently a bunch of skeletons buried below the sand dunes there. But the party managed to avoid fighting most of them until they got all the way to the abbey, where they found the abbey, having been burned down to the ground, still had people in it. They went down into the cellar, and after a very deeply competent stealth scene in which everyone was super quiet and no one caused any problems or in any way they were perfectly communicating with each other. The charades was on point. It was just it was amazing. Once they got through that, they met a couple of people, and by a couple I mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at minimum. Who knows if there are others here, but at least 7. One of them, a big brute of a man named Ogmund, seemed anxious to begin the festivities by killing the party because he was deeply suspicious of them. Fortunately for the party, though, several other people arrived to change Ogmund's mind. One of them is some kind of a person who looks like a half-elf, possibly a musician or a bard, who doesn't seem to fit with the rest of these cultists, whose name is Bayleaf, who doesn't seem to be connected quite as much with the cultists as the rest of them are. The other one is the apparent cult leader, Osmandius. Now, of course, they have not said that they are a cult leader, but it's a pretty fair bet based upon what the party has picked up that there's some reason that these people survived in the cellar this time, and it may have something to do with some falling out that they had with pirates that they originally allied with and maybe not so much anymore. They are trapped apparently on this island. Ozymandias told the party that himself and said that he could really use the help and that he'd be happy to work with them if they are willing to take himself and I believe it is 2 of his companions to the mainland. And so the party had just at the very end of our last session made the decision that they were going to at least leave the abbey with these people. And by the party, I mostly mean Silvo, with Morthwyl giving a lot of side-eye looks towards Silvo. Waves seems really happy with Osmandius because, he's a decisive leader and, that's exactly what Waves is all about. But that's what they planned to do, theoretically. And just at the very end of the last session, someone came up behind Morthwyl, and it was Bayleaf, to basically say, if I were you, I would not trust anyone like Ozymandias, who is most importantly interested in his own self-opinion. You might want to think about that because he is dangerous. At which point, we had a little bit of a cliffhanger and ended up the session. And so I'm actually going to start right in that spot. So Bayleaf has just whispered this into your ear, Morthwyl, right behind you. And you now have an opportunity to decide what it is you would like to do. And then we'll get what the rest of the party is going to do also. Morthwyl, what would you like to do?
Fireball. No, I'm just kidding.
Turn around and fireball. All right. Roll initiative now.
Load the cannon.
I sort of turn to look at him. I'll be like, I kind of got the feeling he's not on the up and up, but he's got the others pretty beguiled.
That's the way that he is. He's very capable of convincing people to do what they want. I also can have some of that value, but I haven't been around as long as Ozymandias is. Of course, if you were to, let us say, back another play, you might be able to, what's the term they would use on the mainland? Divide and conquer, perhaps? Now, he's saying this just sort of, he's like literally not even looking at you, Morthwyl. He's just sort of like, so if you want to, like the side, out of the mouth thing as he's kind of looking off into the room.
Yeah, I'm pretending to be inspecting the stonework. So I'm
Yes.
sort of muttering back to him. It's like, hypothetically, I agree with what you might be suggesting. I got a real bad feeling in my gut about this guy.
You should. The question is, I see that you're certainly a adventuring party of some note to have gotten here, but I don't think you'd want to challenge Ozymandias and the rest of them. The big fellow, for example, he packs quite a punch. And Ogmund, you remember, has basically been like doing the fist in the hand thing for a while now. And he says, so you'll have to make a decision. And Ozymandias turns towards Bayleaf and says, are you whispering again about something, Bayleaf? And Bayleaf says, indeed, I am whispering my praise of your leadership as always. I suppose you have your own ideas in mind about what to do with this party. They make a good point, I think. We can't simply stay on this island. And Ozymandias walks up to Bayleaf and so Morthwyl, you're there and you don't need an insight check to know that there's electrical tension, right, kind of going on between them. And Ozymandias says, you recognize that you are not in control here, Bayleaf. If you attempt to betray me, you know what the result will be. And Bayleaf sort of, slightly nods. And
I mean, you've been stuck in a basement for God knows how long. How much control can you really be in? You haven't really found a way to get your folks off the island. You're relying on the help of some folks who stumbled across ye.
I don't believe you just, as he turns back to you, stumbled across us. I believe that you were sent here, according to your friend there, and he waves over at Silvo, to help. And that's what we're asking for, is the help that your friend claims you arrived to provide.
Notice only he offered that.
And so Osmandius looks at you and is like, you mean he doesn't speak for you?
He doesn't even speak for himself half the time. And half of what he says ain't what he means, and half of what he means ain't what he says.
I like half of you half as well as I like. Silvo, are you saying this loud enough for Silvo to hear it, Morthwell?
I'm shouting this. I want it to echo.
Okay.
Silvo's going to turn around and go, in my defense, we actually didn't know you were here. This is a complete surprise to all of us, so we're just sort of making the best of everything at the moment.
I thought you said you came to help.
No, we didn't specifically come to help you. We came to help the townsfolk of Saltmarsh because there were undead wandering around. And there possibly is, a cause or some sort of research material here that could help us identify why that's happening.
Undead turning up in a dwarf mine tends to make dwarves take notice of few things.
And imagine our surprise when we got here and there were survivors. So,
Where the
any
undead
assistance
are
at both
coming
ways?
from, ostensibly.
And
whilst this conversation's going on,
yeah.
I want Brian just to casually, as if she wasn't even listening, just move slightly to the left.
Okay.
I would like to say something directly into Morthwheel's head.
Okay.
I would like to say to Morthwheel, just try not to anger them before we're not surrounded by them. I don't like this guy half as much as you do, but I think being surrounded by them isn't the best idea right now.
Silvo, have you done this? Sorry, but just before Morthwell answers, have you done this before with Morthwell?
Once.
Once, okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. So that Morthwell doesn't start violently,
That was last time.
Okay, right. Okay,
Yeah,
that's right.
pretty
That's
much.
right. I remember. Yes. Sorry, I need to go Morthwell.
I would be thinking, what if they were to find out not all of them were planned to get off the island?
Then we could use that to our advantage.
But we need to tell them that, not be thinking it ourselves.
Silver just sort of
Can you
smiles
do
and
this
nods.
to them?
Yes, but it might freak him out. Do you have anyone in mind?
Who was that nervous fella? Odorous, something like that.
Pick the most nervous person in the room and ask me to speak into his mind.
Just pretend to be whoever they worship. They might not even know.
I think you were probably referring to odium. So you might have been referring to
Yeah,
I was just thinking of Odie. I've got to be honest with you. From
Odie
Garfield.
from Garfield.
Sorry. I think that's the note I made as well.
Waves, just quick question. Do you and Green? So you've heard that too. Do you have any are you staying where you are and watching? I mean, you heard obviously the public exchange between Silvo and Morthwell, and now you just sort of see Silvo kind of staring meaningfully at Morthwell.
Well,
Do we know what deity these people follow?
You don't. You haven't asked anyway.
Oh, we
I-
asked. Well, we asked
I
what
flat out
their
asked, and he
we
very much
asked what
dodged the
their
question.
organization were called.
They
and
asked
he
that's true.
avoided it.
You did ask the name of the organization. Yes, that's true.
Can I do some kind of religion or insight check looking for insignias?
Sure. Go ahead and make a religion check. I'm going to have you do this at disadvantage, though, because they don't have a lot that's sort of that they're wearing that would indicate anything in particular. But
But we already had the information from our visions that the cultists on this island might be of the Scarlet Robes, or I just cannot remember the name properly.
The
Scarlet
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 Brotherhood.
Robes.
Yeah.
It was Scarlet. Okay, I'm fine.
Scarlet,
Yeah.
yeah, Scarlet Brother.
Didn't
we don't
get
know if
much
those.
of a response when I tried to poke them by invoking the
Yeah.
name, though. They
Yeah,
might
we don't
be
know
a
if those visions were
separate group.
matched or not.
So is that an 11 green? Is that what
Yeah.
I see? Yeah. I mean, just like very clearly your spidey sense is tingling, right? Like very obviously there's something seriously wrong with this crew, with the group of people you're looking at. The sort of attitude they have and the fact that you had to go through a literal field of landmines known as skeletons is pretty indicative of the fact that these people must be some kind of cult. But as to what, you don't know. Aya's, some other Greyhawk death god or deity. Who knows for sure, but you can't pick up anything specific. You do notice that Osmandius is wearing a gold medallion, but you can't, rather openly actually, but you can't tell anything specific about religiously from your vantage point about it.
Right. But there's no spiders or anything around.
No. You do not see
Okay.
anything like what you saw on the ship. No. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, because Lolth's cult
Yep.
did try to eat Green.
Absolutely.
So long as they're not Lolth cultists, we're all good.
Yeah. Not a lot of webs around here.
No.
Excellent.
Undetermined, though.
Green
Kraken
would like
also
to
tried to
go
eat
and
Green.
let's not. Green would like to go and take a closer look at this medallion, please.
Okay.
Which person is wearing it?
It is the person directly to the north of Morthwhale, right here. That is Osmandius. So, and do you walk right up like, excuse me? How do you approach?
I've got my sweeping brush, sweeping the floor on my way there. Don't touch him.
Okay.
Just sort of give him a bit of an up and down look.
Give me please a investigation check, please.
Hello, please don't eat me. Investigation. Oh dear. Seven.
Seven.
Definitely a gold medallion. No, you get a little more than that just because of your proximity to it. You can see that it is a golden disc, and it's inscribed with these complex geometric designs. You can definitely see that just by proximity to it. But you don't see anything that like seems obvious to you about runes or symbols that you're familiar with. And he, as you sort of are looking him up and down, is kind of like, well, what are you doing? And what's with that infernal sweeping?
I'm just checking if you need dry cleaning.
I certainly don't need any kind of cleaning. I'll need it when I get back to the mainland. And as far as that's
I
concerned...
beg to differ.
he kind of stares at you. He's like, well, I don't want to be cleaned. Is this... And he sort of turns to all of you. Is this what this one usually does?
I'm gonna walk up to Green and be like, "It's okay, Green. Don't worry. We're gonna get you outside in a second. Don't worry. I'm gonna sort of try and put my arm around Green and usher them in the opposite direction."
He said he doesn't want to be clean.
That's okay. I'm sure they'll want to be clean at some point.
All right.
Does Green allow me to shepherd them back towards the staircase?
Yeah. He
Okay.
doesn't want to hang around with people who don't want to be clean.
And Osmandius says, we're wasting time. Ogmund? And Ogmund kind of takes a step forward like, right, let's move then up the stairs. And you can see the other sort of, people here. Two, and I should mention, these ones over here are basically cloaked figures like Osmandius up here is. Ogmund, as I mentioned, very large person. But these two right here are also leather armor, fairly well sort of put together. It looks like they know their way around a fight as well. And so, and Osmandius sort of steps down here and says, all right, let's go then. And Ogmund sort of looks at all of you meaningfully. Bayleaf has
Meanwhile,
I
a
walk
Brian
towards the stairs.
is- Sorry.
I walk towards the
Yes,
stairs.
sir.
I've
Brian has
just
got her
cleaned
back.
these.
sorry, say that again.
I've just cleaned these stairs. Everyone wipe your feet before you walk.
Go ahead, Brad.
Carry on.
I awkwardly rub my feet against the stones a little bit.
Brian's got her back kind of to Silvo, so can't see my face, but I'm desperately scrunching my eyes, trying to screen something to Silvo. What the hell's going on? Obviously, you can't see my face, so you could just see me.
And I don't think
Just
you
see
see
the
it
side
initially.
of your neck.
Because I think we've still got the connection, because
Right, yeah.
Silver never specified but 7,
Yep.
so I'm thinking like,
No.
this Bailey figure's indicated we may be able to sow some dissension in the ranks, so think on how we might be able to do that. I'm not exactly a people dwarf.
No, the big one's not going to be much cop. I think if we need to get rid of the big one, we'll need to get rid of them sooner.
Right, hurry up then, he says, stepping forward.
Shuffle, 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 shuffle. I don't see Osmandius putting up much of a fight. But what was the other one? The nervous-looking one.
Who you don't see in this room at the moment, by the way.
Oh, do I not? Okay.
Yep.
I thought Odeon was over here.
No, Odium.
A group went outside last time.
That's right.
Ah, I see. Odium has been removed from the room.
We get to the shore and he's just like, I'll come back for you.
He's on the shore. He's like, I'll come back for you. And then on the waves, he's just sort of like, I'm not coming back for you.
Also, he went through a door. You don't know if that leads to the outside or if it just leads to another room, to be clear, because he did not go in here. So he did not go into the stairs, for whatever that's worth.
I assume we didn't see any other entrances to this level outside. There were no obvious other doorways.
Not outside,
and
no.
staircases. Okay, cool. Cool. Well, I reckon we shuffle our way outside.
Okay.
Brian's not going
Oops,
to
sorry.
move towards the stairs
This
until Morphwell gets a bit closer, because I'm not leaving him alone in this room.
Yeah, I just haven't moved myself.
Yeah, sorry, Saber, it's misclick. I meant to hit him.
That's all right. I'm just stomping my feet to get all the dust and dirt off it.
Okay. All right.
Respect the craft.
So they all sort of fall into line, and these ones do as well. So now you have a nice, tidy little line of people that are gathering you, basically, as you come towards the stairs.
If this is Blood Bowl, this is a formation you want.
I was going to say, how good's your Eldritch Cannon? Is
Pretty
it like a
damn good.
rail gun? Everyone just stand in a line?
Just going to set this up.
Bailey's in that line as well.
They're all behind us, aren't they?
Yes, we're gonna have the high ground in a moment.
They
a
are.
line.
Yeah, they are behind you.
Yep.
Augmund is
Yep.
like this. Osmandius is like a step forward, but yeah, mostly they are.
A great time for burning hands.
All right, so Augmund steps in here. Osmandius here. And the two knights there.
I say to Morthwheel, are we doing something now or are we waiting till we're outside?
We haven't even made sure anyone's on our side yet, except that Bayleaf.
I don't know who to ask.
You spoke to them the most.
I spoke to Osmandius so he wouldn't kill us.
And then we get to the boat and they kill us and take the boat.
Hurry up, you! And he's kind of pushing you up the stairs. Let's see.
All
so
right,
if we go-
pipe down, biggin.
All right, so if I bring you up here, and let me just, I'm going to move you for a second, Silvo, just so I can get room for the others. As we move from, what were these, did I say 10-foot squares to 500-foot squares? So everybody be
God.
aware.
These maps.
Everyone remember where we parked. Okay.
Silvo! How did you get so far
Hi,
away?
Green.
There we go.
I think at Silvo's we go up the stairs. What if you or I
Look at them.
disappeared
They're just
for a
tiny.
moment?
You and I, or you or I? Because I
You
think
or
I
I.
could. I think I could disappear.
I could help, is what I'm saying.
Ooh.
I could
All
make
right.
that
These
happen.
guys are kind of handsome.
This one plays an instrument too.
Hello. Message for you, sir. Okay. Actually, I should say that's not quite accurate. Bayleaf does not show up yet. So
Bayleaf has been cast to the northern point of the island.
That's right.
Yeah, so as we're walking through Morthwheel, I can say I can disappear. I'm pretty certain I can disappear. What
I'm
are you thinking?
absolutely positive I can make you disappear.
Okay. What are we doing?
I don't know. I'm just saying, can we make use of that somehow? Since they can't hear us yet.
don't
I assume. Can everyone hear this? Is it a party line?
No one else can hear this. But if I start talking to them and they get suspicious, or if I start talking to the wrong one and they go, "Hey, Osmandius, that half elf's voice is in my head. Kill him." Like, we don't know who might be on our side. It could be everyone. It could be no one.
Right, let's move then. You're now at the top of the stairs, and Ogmund is pushing you into the cellar. I mean, above the cellar, like
pushing me back
not
into
back.
the cellar.
Sorry, out of the cellar is what I meant to say. Into the sort of bottom floor where you can see the burned down, walls of the first floor around you.
I point helpfully towards the skull dunes.
Ah, that's where you came from, yes? Osmandius says.
I nod.
Excellent. Well, perhaps you could lead us there. You're doing an excellent job. And you can see
I shake my
Osmandius
head.
is sort of like, no? Why not?
I make a long pantomime of things in the ground attacking us.
Oh, don't worry about them. We have ways of working through them that we've learned during our time here.
So then I make a, okay, go ahead movement. Because I'm not stepping on there.
Just while this is going on, what's the running order of people? Are we in a similar group to what the tokens are?
Yes, now. So more or less, now I mean, again, it's a little bit hard because the scale is so much, but more or less you have these, you have, let's see, you've got, is that Osmandius? Where did Osmandius go? No, this is Osmandius here. You've got two of these guard, knight veteran type people here. You have a couple of these cultists here, and super big dude Ogmund here.
He definitely said cultist then. Everyone know that down. It's definitely a cult.
I mean, in the eye of the beholder, right?
He can't take it back now. He said it. He said the thing.
To be fair, they dropped themselves in it last time when they said, they were sent to deal with us.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Can I sever the connection with Morthwheel and send a message to Waves?
He's still rambling through various options
try.
that he's got available.
I'm just going to whisper to Waves.
As you're doing this, by the way, they're moving you to the south. So just letting you know.
Yeah,
that
so
they're
we're
kind of-
slowly walking to the south. I'm going to say to Waves, can you try and keep Osmandius' attention for a little while? He seems to be, interested in Kenku and, sort of interested in you specifically. If you can keep his attention for a while, it might be to our advantage.
You don't hear a voice, but you get the impression of a head nod.
Sorry, I just had to unplug my Elgato light because it was freaking out again. Okay, cool. Whilst we are moving, Silvo is going to... Because we're not, at knife point or anything, are we?
We are not, although you have to be in front of them unless you choose not to be. They're very consciously trying to keep you in front. So
that's fine. That's
just
fine.
be
So
aware of that.
I was next to Ogmund.
Right.
Could I move to about here, basically?
And I probably should exchange positions. This really is more the way it is because Ogmund's in front. Not that far back. No, I mean, not unless you resist it, because he's going to want you in front with Waves and with Brian and Green to a lesser extent.
Could I be sort of like here or here, basically? Because again, 500 feet, and I assume we're not walking in a tight formation. We're sort of we're a few feet apart.
Yes.
Yeah. So I could be in this area or this area.
That's right. And I'm going to move just for a moment, Brian and Waves, just so you can put yourself there, Silva, but we'll assume you're kind of in between. I get that.
That's absolutely fine, yeah. So we're sort of like moving as a group, but obviously Ogmund and Osmandius are sort of at the front. We're in front of them anyway. But I want to walk kind of as close to this group of people as I can without being amongst them.
Okay.
I'm going to sever the connection with Waves, and I'm going to open up another one with Morthwheel, and I assume Morthwheel is still rabbiting on about something.
Hey, I could open up a rope into the sky and we could disappear up that.
I mean, we'll revisit that one. But I could try and convince the guys next to us that if we were to turn on... I keep wanting to call him Asmodeus. His name is not Asmodeus. Osmandius.
Osmandius.
How do you know?
Yeah.
Welcome.
Beelzebub. It's all I think of now. All week, every time I hear that noise on TikTok, I'm just like, Osmandius.
Osmandius.
I could try and convince these guys to join us if Ogmund and Osmandius are in direct control. The downside is if they're not, it's going to give us away really easily.
So, I trust Silver that he is giving me sound advice.
This wasn't to Waves. This was to Morthwheel.
Yeah, because he broke the.
Yeah, and I broke that connection. Sorry, I broke that connection to Waves.
I just wanted to start distracting Osmandius.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, carry on. Well, what are you doing to distract him?
Well, first of all, as soon as one of the other minions touches me, I slap the hand away, not in an aggressive, but more and say,
"Keep your distance."
And then I walk in front of Osmandius every time that happens, and then look up to him and say
"Whoa, whoa."
And if he doesn't really react to that, I start whistling. And if he doesn't react to that, I still have more here.
So Osmandius is kind of is sort of looking over at you, as is Ogmund. So Ogmund kind of comes down here a little bit. Green, are you trying to get 1,000 feet ahead of the party?
I'm just trying to keep it moving.
No, I know.
I was. I know that obviously I didn't want to interrupt when
I'm just joking, Green.
Waves was talking to Osmandius, but being in the kind of the front and leading the way, I'd like to move to I want to go the long way round. I would like to move round this side of some of these bushes. Obviously not looking like I'm taking them in the wrong direction. I'm just going the long way round.
Oh, that's not the way to go. You go down south this way, direct. And Ogmund is
We've checked this way. We know this way isn't going to set off any traps.
Yeah, so we're not going to set off any traps unless you go down this way. Now get to the south. And he's glaring at you, pointing to the south.
We're going to the
south. Is this guy bigger than me?
Yes. he's bigger than any of you. He's a very large person. Doesn't mean bigger they are, harder they fall and all that, but he is a big dude.
I look sadly at some of the other people and say very loudly,
"You're gonna need a bigger boat."
And make motions that if you have to stay behind. Let's see how they react to that.
And Osmandius nods. He says, "They know that. We're just going to be bringing myself and Ogmund here and one of my guards. The rest are going to stay behind. Once we get to the mainland, we'll make sure that we get the boats that we need and return. In the end, of course, we'll be trying to set ourselves here so that we can rebuild, since our home has been taken from us." And a couple of the others... actually, Morthwheel, make an insight check for me, please. I think Silva's going to be too distracted on this, but...
Yeah, I was just going to add on top of that, because I would sort of say, just muttering but loud enough for people nearby to hear you. I told a few folks I'd be right back 250 years ago.
Yes, okay, so definitely make an insight check. That if the insight check is good, it might set up for that.
Nope.
Yeah. You definitely, you don't hear... I guess what I'll say is you don't hear a rousing, "Huzzah for Osmandius" from the rest of the crew, but, that's pretty much all. Everyone continues to kind of walk forward slowly.
So, whilst this is going on with Ogmund and Brine, which is perfect right now, I am going to sever the connection with Morthwheel. So I'm currently no incoming calls. And I'm going to open up a new line of dialogue with whomever this is next to Morthwheel.
Okay. All right. And so you do that?
Because I have a plan. If he questions it, I'm just going to say, I must have been the wind. I'm going to say, Ogmund's a bit of a hard hand, isn't he? Is he always like that?
And there's... any kind of
Don't worry about it. It's just a trick I learned on the streets. Tell you what, no one else can hear us at the minute. It's a pretty neat trick. But if, he's not very nice to you, you can let us know. We might be able to help you.
I'd like a persuasion check, please, Silvo.
Okay. Let's hope my incredible bonuses actually pay off this time instead of last week when all I did was fluff my rolls.
A telepathic persuasion check, no less.
A telepathic persuasion check. Oh, no, that's spells, not that one.
You fireball the room.
Telepathic persuasion check. Tasha's mind whip. Persuasion. 16.
All right. Let's see. That is going to be an opposed roll. Bear with me.
Bear with me. Bear with me. If you heard my zoogram joke, I walk into the room. Bear with me.
So...
Hey, got a chuckle
That is
somewhere.
Bayleaf next to me, right? To my left.
Bayleaf is
I'm
not out. Has not
I'm mixing
exited
up
the
my
cellar.
tokens.
Yep, that is just somebody else.
Okay.
And the person, the sort of cloaked figure, says, "You talking to me in my head?"
Just think it. Don't say it.
They are thinking it to you. What are you doing in my head?
Yeah. No, I'm not in your head. I'm just able to talk to you quietly. That's all. Just wanted to see what the deal was with the Abbey and Osmandius and Ogmund and you guys. You guys have been stuck here for a long time.
Look, I shouldn't even be speaking to you.
We're not speaking technically. We're just sharing thoughts.
He kind of shoots you a look, like just glares at you.
There's this sideways glance where I'm just like,
yeah, exactly. The wind. And he says, "You're not supposed to be spoken to, and you're bringing the rest of them off so we can get ourselves off this rock."
that's true. But if they're going to do bad stuff when they come back, I get the impression you're probably not here because you want to be.
What do you mean? I serve these people.
You serve these people. Do you serve Osmodius? Osmodius. Do
I
you
do
serve
serve
Osmandius?
I do serve Osmodius.
Yeah. Do you serve him in his current state, or do you just serve the cause?
Ozymandias is the leader. It's simple as that.
Has it always been that simple?
And he sort of
Did he take control, or is he just the tallest priest standing?
He's our leader. He's the one that we follow orders. He's the head of our order here.
Well, a good friend once told me that freedom is the right of all sentient creatures, so if anything were to happen, then I could help you out.
And
if you wanted to be free of this, if you wanted to be free of him, not free of your beliefs, but just this situation. You guys look tired and cold and hungry.
Are you telling me to betray my leader?
No, I'm telling you that maybe your leader has taken a different path, one that you might not have expected. It happens.
I am going to ask you to make me a persuasion check at disadvantage. Chat, I will mention that if you have inspirations from my channel, this is not the last D&D thing for this month, but one of the last. So you could, if you wish, if you have an inspiration available to you, try to inspire Silvo to mitigate this. Otherwise, this is going to be a check at disadvantage, insofar as he is trying to convince someone to betray his leader telepathically in his head. A person he met 5 minutes ago.
While Silver is doing something that I don't know anything about, Silver still gave me a very direct order, so I keep on trying to distract Osmandius. And as apparently this hasn't worked so far, I'll now start singing, and I've got a song for him.
Ooh, nice.
It's
And
okay to not like ships. It's okay, but don't be a dick about it. It's okay to not like ships. Don't be a dick about the ships you don't like.
what is that from? I
10
don't.
out of 10. 10
I
out of
think we're
10.
allowed to hate the one that got eaten by the Kraken.
Oh my god. I don't kind of know what to say. It's
Roll for confusion.
yeah.
broken it. Yes.
Exactly.
As
Everyone
long as
run.
Osmandius is just staring at me as if I'm mad, my goal has been reached.
Take
here.
50 heart damage. No. Hi,
I'm
Xbox.
really trying to distract him from what's going on behind him and everything. Just because I was told to distract him, and I'm completely on it.
I will say, Effect Life, you do have one. So you have one left, and if you want, you could use it. If you wish, Effect Life, you could, and I will remove it on my end if you want to do that. And I'll talk about the. I'm going to talk about the effect of the whistling because that might actually be. I mean the song because that might distract other people also. All right, do it. All right, let's see. Effect Life.
So that cancels out the disadvantage.
Yes, so that means you're just doing it. I mean, you don't have to use it on this. You could technically save it for something, but yes, this would cancel disadvantage, so you'd just be doing it. And you would have to use it sometime today, so... You know.
Yeah. No, I'll use it on this one. It's fine. Because I have to decide to use it before actually using it. don't
Right.
I? Yeah, before rolling. I can't be like, oh, no, that was a terrible roll.
Never
I'll roll
mind.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's not talisman, do you know what I mean?
No.
Yeah, so thank you, Effect Life. I will roll normally at normal advantage. Not advantage, at normal.
Right.
26.
Wow. And I'll tell you what, that 16 wouldn't have worked. Well, wait a minute though. What
That
did you
was
just roll?
that 16.
That was your last one.
16 was
Okay,
previous,
okay,
yeah.
never mind. Okay, I was gonna say, I was like, wow. 26. So he kind of looks at you and then looks over and he's like, he's too strong. Him and Ogmund, they could kill us.
I'm going to look over to him, smile Riley, and think to him, no, he's not. Trust me.
All right, well, I'm not going to, attack him myself.
That's fine. Do you think the others would not attack him too?
If you could convince them that he's giving the order to fall back or something.
See what I can do. And I show him a quick wink, and I'm going to sever the connection.
Okay.
I assume we're moving forward still.
Yes, I moved once, although I was
Okay.
cracking up watching Green every time he left and right and up
Just
and down.
sweeping. I imagine Green just going forwards with a Zen garden brush,
Exactly.
just brushing any sand.
I'm just moving you in front of the scrub brush, Silvo, just because they're not going to actually
that's
push you through the scrub brush.
That's
So.
fine. Can I?
If people stare at me because of my singing, I'm now gonna applaud myself.
Yes, there are, and that actually is the case. These three, this one here, and this one here, are all looking at you with these very bemused expressions, what? And Osmandius is like, well, that's quite a song. That's a good song, I think. Very droll. He seems exceedingly confused at what you're saying, what you're doing.
While they're distracted, both of us going to loudly just say, "Oh, bollocks! I forgot I was supposed to take some readings for the guild. Do you mind? There's a substantial monetary reward attached to it if I do."
And whilst he's doing that, just to slightly annoy Ogmund, I'm gonna stop and complain about a stone in my shoe, and so I'm gonna stop and sit on a rock and take my boot off and start emptying pebbles out of my shoe.
And they stop, and Ogmund's like, "Oh, come on! It's not you can just fight through it. You're gonna be in a boat in a minute anyway." Morthwill, where are you going as this is happening? Do you just stop, or are you trying to walk back to the abbey or something?
I'm sort of just where I am on the map, really. I'm 4.5 foot. I'm clearly avoiding walking through the scrub.
Got you. Okay.
But like, if you mind, I don't want to make any fast moves now.
Okay.
Green is very disturbed by the fact that there's some like outside and inside the shoes. It's like he's like walking over like, no, I've already cleaned inside your boots just 3 minutes ago. Coming over to come and investigate, like, what could possibly have gone wrong with his boot cleaning.
I was gonna say, please tell me that Brian is just like Brian's like, like, you know, oh man.
Brian is absolutely happy about Green helping. But I have no idea about the plan that's going on in Silvo's head.
Right.
All I know is that this giant is trying to push me about, and I am passively aggressively wanting to annoy him as much as possible. That's why I'm emptying my stones and things like that. So I'm more than happy for Green to help me with my boots.
Okay, so as he does
this
that,
is the first time
Yeah.
Green has seen Brian's socks and is horrified. There's like mending spells going on. There's more cleaning than these socks have ever seen before.
100d6 psychic damage, yeah. So Osmandius sort of moves over. Well, come on, and turns to you, Waves. Can't you get your people moving? We need to be off this island. And these ones are still sort of staring. The three over here are still staring at you, Waves. This one is sort of kind of not doing anything, the one sitting next to Silvo. And Ogmund is staring down at, sort of tapping his foot impatiently at Brine.
Okay, I look at him because I still haven't been told to not distract him anymore. So I tell him valuable information.
The ship is ours!
And also, I quizzically look at him.
Are we there yet?
And then I wait.
Okay.
Just while that is going on, can I move myself here, but to just indicate that I'm closer to these two?
Yes.
Because
That's
I'm
fine.
assuming they're not the other side of the scrub brush. So I'm sort of occupying sort of the same square as Waves at the moment, like the same area. Like I'm behind Waves, but I'm gonna open a chat to. I'm gonna open a chat. I'm gonna open a connection to this person here.
You're gonna DM that guy.
I'm gonna
Morthwill,
DM them. I'm gonna send him a DM.
just before you do that, Morthwill, you were saying, was there something you wanted to do as you came up behind?
I was requesting permission to produce a bit of equipment in order to make some scans I promised the guild.
We don't. And Ogwin's like looks up at you exasperated and Osmandius, we don't have time for this. And Osmandius says, I agree. There's no time for
I gave
extra
my word.
readings. Well,
I'll
you know.
scan as I go, but I need to prepare the equipment. It'll take but a moment.
Osmandius steps closer to this one who, Brian, you can see that this one over here, actually make an insight check for me, Brian, since you don't know what's going on here yet. And I'll come to Waves in a second.
I all I'm doing is trying to annoy
It's Ogmund.
Ogmund.
Yes.
And it's going great.
Insight check. I'm not
Did
very wise.
I just
Irritation is another form of
Osmandi-
diplomacy.
Yep.
Did I just use Osmandius' attention?
Technically, yes.
Just yes, although now that you're doing this other thing, you have these three, however, are rapt attention with you. Oh man, it's the final boss, my own voice. Osmandius turns back. That sounded like half an elephant. No, no, he doesn't say that. So he sort of looks around, he turns to you, he's like, what on earth are you doing? And he turns away.
Freedom is the right of all
Someone's trying to stop
sentient
Morthwell.
beings.
He's pulling a cube off his belt right now.
Okay, yeah, Ogmund is staring at Brian, so at the moment, no one's actually looking at you, Morthwill.
All right. I press a button on the cube, and it turns into a tiny handheld-looking iron dragon.
Okay. And?
Well, that's it. He's just going to wave it around for now.
Okay, so they're still paying zero attention.
It's like he's scanning the scrub. He turns and waves it over the guy standing there in front of him.
Green, do you have any reaction to the fact that Waves is like he's just yelling out of nowhere from this or not?
No.
No.
Brian's just really, really like over enthusiastic because it's annoying Ogmund so much. I'm just really enthusiastically saying to Green, I can't believe you got that stain out. I trod on that sea slug at least 6 months ago.
Oh, hurry up! And,
It's
Ogmund yells at you.
mention of sea slugs. He's like, let's give it another pass just in case.
Well, that's enough now.
Completely, he
Ogmund
does
steps up.
not know that there's any distraction attempts happening. He is very wholeheartedly just like, don't worry, I'm going to help you through this.
And Osmandius comes back and says, why are you yelling like that? What's going on over here? What's your problem? And he looks over
Everyone
at you, Silva.
abandon ship!
Okay. So...
Meanwhile, both of us looking at the dragon going, oh, that's not good. How long have you lads been here?
And so Ogmund he says, everybody abandon ship. So the three sort of stare confused. And Osmandius says, wait just a moment. And you can see to your left and to the west and to the north, these guys, their hands are going to the hilts of their swords, Waves.
Okay,
I think this thing's overloading.
I fluff my feathers proudly and say,
I make this look good.
And Osmandius says, all right, now that's enough. It's time for you to bring us to the boat or we're going to have to take further measures. Now, let's not be foolish.
Quick question.
I look really sad at him and say,
Now that was a fail boat.
Okay, yes, Silva.
So these two have their hands sort of hovered over their weapons at the minute. Correct.
Yes.
Does this one?
Which one? This one? Not yet, but he also is not armored like them. He's just sort of like, he's got the cloak on, so he's sort of like staring at, and he's like staring at Waves, but also seems to be kind of looking to Osmandius back and forth. And Ogmund looks like he's kind of getting ready to reach down to pick up Brian. Not literally like hold him over his head, but to not hold her over her head, but to basically be like, on your feet type of thing. Hasn't touched you yet, Brian.
I start to put my boots back on, but I just take my sweet time about like making sure the buckles are done up nicely and all the little bits are folded in, just smoothing it down. I mean, I'm doing it. I'm just taking my sweet time about it.
Are you cool with this, Green?
Or have you noticed that the laces, the left one is on top of the right one for all except the third whole eyelid? I think you need to relace your boots.
All right, that's enough. And
didn't want
Ogmund
to
is like,
say
is just like that, just like, I can't. And he like reaches down. Now, a bunch of things happen at once. He starts reaching down. This one comes down here and says, I think I need to say something. Starts saying out loud. Morthwill, I need to know what I'm going to ask for. One thing only from each of you. You're not going to have a chance to consult with each other, okay? So it's time for you to build on this much vaunted chemistry you all possess. Morthwill, what are you planning to do here?
Morthwill yells, oh my god, magic build-up, and he's going to use a flamethrower on the people in front of him.
This way, you mean? Towards the...
or
towards Ogmund. Oh, right. Okay, that's what I figured. I'm sorry.
I'll set fire to the scrub while I'm writing it.
Yeah, I was going to say. Okay. Right, so to the west. Okay. Silva, what are you doing?
I am going to talk into the head of this one.
And say? You're not going to have a lot of time.
I'm going to say... No, I'm just going to say, you talk, you're dead. And I don't mind rolling an intimidation check.
Yeah,
I
go ahead and do
will
it.
tear your soul from your body.
Yeah, do the intimidation check. We'll see what happens.
9.
Well, let's see if that's enough. No,
No, it's definitely
he stares at you. He stares at you, eyes wide, and is just like, "Boss, we got trouble!" He yells. So, Waves, what are you doing? This is all happening simultaneous.
I'm still standing in front of Osmandius. He's like the statue that is turned on its head.
Correct, right here. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, look good. If he makes any wrong move, I'm gonna skewer him.
Okay.
Maybe he just wants to give up something right now. But if he makes any aggressive move, I'm just gonna poke.
Gotcha. And then, okay, just pulling up some windows here. Brian, Ogmund is literally reaching for you at this point, so you have one action you can take here.
Can I hold my action?
I don't, not really, because this is not, you're not an initiative yet, although you're going to be. This is kind of your before fisticuffs begin type of thing. I mean, you can just say I'm not going to do anything and then have combat start. That's fine. You don't have to do anything.
I am going to. That's a good question. I'm just gonna. I know I'm gonna draw both of my scimitars, and I know I'm going to try and stab Ogmund. But I'm not gonna be. I'm not gonna be Han Solo, who shot first. I'm going to wait until there is some indication from either Morthwill, Silvo, or they attack me first.
Okay. And Green, what are you going to do?
Green's seeing a pair of very dirty hands coming towards his very clean friend, who has taken great lengths to keep clean.
Totally.
So he is going to just put himself in between very heroically, and, you know, prestidigitation the hand clean, and would like to cast Bless on 3 friends.
Okay.
I'm aware he's got 4 friends, so...
You pick the 3.
Yeah. Brine, Silvo, and Waves. Sorry, Morthoil.
Is it because he's a dwarf?
Can neither confirm nor deny.
Bear in mind, I'm on the other side of the scrub, so you can only see like this upwards of me as well.
So you can't bless in his general direction, is what you're saying.
What does Bless do again?
Whenever a target makes an attack roll or a saving throw, the target can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to it.
Thanks.
Sorry, I've just realised if I cast it as a 2nd level spell slot, I can cover everyone, so I would like to do that if that's okay.
Okay. Yes, I think
What
so.
was that again? Bonus what, sorry?
D4 to attack rolls and saving throws.
Okay. All right. So you are not going to attack, but so Osmandius hears the warning. Other people hear this shouting, and Morthwill, before the combat starts, you're going to get to flame on these 2 people. Yeah.
I've not got my shield equipped. This is in my offhand.
Okay. Outstanding.
I think Mike's figured it out.
I like how we're doing this when 2 or 3 people of the party are completely surrounded.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yep, tremendous.
Next time we have a go word, okay?
Probably should have thought of that, yeah.
To go on 1, 2, 3, or is it 1, 2, 3? Okay.
Is it 3 or after 3? What do we do?
We go on arc.
I don't know.
Knowing everything
We go on kill him.
Okay, well.
Diplomacy has failed.
All right,
Knowing everything is getting a bit tense, you can still, if you catch Brian's face, she's still periodically scrunching her face up trying to talk to Silvo.
Probably wondering why it's not working, right?
I have no idea why it's not
damn
working.
it.
I am screaming in my head. But yeah.
Yeah, and now Morthwill is gonna do a better distraction than I did the whole time, just by setting people on fire.
You just hear, look out, magic build up, and then...
This is 100% incidentally. This is literally exactly what happens when, watch out, he's loose, and Chewbacca breaks free and freaking tears up the stuff, and all of a sudden you just start blasting the entire, So literally, this is a so anyway I started blasting moment, like
Pretty
literally.
Much,
Okay.
We're combining hand shot first with Chewie gets loose.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
they're
gosh.
going to have to make a DC 15 Dex save, or they will take full damage. Otherwise, they take half.
Okay. Boy, do I have a lot of windows up. Okay. Right. So, okay, well, this guy absolutely doesn't make it. And the one next to him, you said a DC, what save?
DC 15.
For,
Dex.
you said Dex?
Yep.
Not, they are all so stunned, they don't even move when this all goes down. So they will take the full brunt of whatever it is you're about to do.
Morthwill's blaze of glory coming up. Right, so it's 2d8 for the first guy. That's 8 points of damage to the first guy, and the second guy, 11.
Okay. So you said 8 points of damage to this guy?
Yeah, we'll go with like nearest to furthest. So
Okay.
yeah, first guy takes 8.
All right. He looks grievously hurt, but not dead. And the one next to him is going to take some damage, but not as much. At the same time that Osmandius sees what's happening, and the time has come for what we like to call initiative. Let's get a little bit of music going. And let's go. I like that we're doing this in wide open spaces.
Huge wide open spaces surrounded by enemies. Yeah, can we decide how far apart we actually are from everyone?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that you are probably within a good 50 to 75 feet of everybody, more or less. And I'll, once we get through this, we can kind of place depending on how things go. But I would say that what you're looking at, if you assumed that these were 5-foot squares or 10-foot squares, 10-foot squares, let's say, is probably a safer bet.
What kind of initiatives are those?
For the purposes of just maneuverability, so these are now 5-foot squares. We're not like in scrub or anything like that.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so at least not unless you choose to be, or unless somebody throws you in there, which is not.
Yeah, was anybody actually in the scrub brush?
You don't think so? I think I think everybody's outside of it. Okay, so Waves has got a 7. Brian has got a 9. Morthwill has got a 4.
See, Silvo knew what was coming.
And
I just didn't have time.
Okay, let's see. Right, that's not Morthwill's 1. 21, 9, 7, 5. Oh, no, that's not what Green has. Green has a 16. Green was born ready. Okay. So we've got them all set. I'd like to reroll my initiative. Declined. Okay. Silvo gets the
Declined.
He got the same thing as that he's got the last time. Okay. Green.
Could somebody
16.
please make a little soundbite of that laughing declined for me? I think I'm gonna need that one day.
Declined. Okay, and then Morthwill with a 4. All right, so let's see. So I'm going to put these guys here. Oh, wait, nope, they don't go ahead of that. Not that person, because that person rolled pretty well. All right. Here's this. And here is... All right, sorry, a lot of groups to arrange. Bear with me for just a second. Right, and then we're going to do this. Waves, what is your just raw dexterity score?
20.
Right, okay. I think I know what happens in case of a tie then. So, just making sure. Okay.
I'm a bird.
Yep. You're a very agile bird. Okay. Right. Okay. So here we go. We begin with Silvo, who is sort of in the middle of things, and you are near, not in, but you are near the scrub brush, and you see that the person to the north is grievously hurt, and the person who's west has been hurt, although not grievously. And Morthwill is standing looking fairly pleased with himself. No, I'm joking. It's up to how Morthwill's looking. I'm just imagining that in my head. What would you like to do?
He's ranting about magic build-up still. He's joking.
Yeah. all I hear is like the Michael Bay sort of like cone of flame behind me, and I'm like, well, it appears diplomacy has failed, people. Can you do me a favor? Can you draw me a 40-foot cube? Because I don't know in 5-foot squares what that would cover. So I want to do something that would affect people in a 40-foot cube, but I don't know how big that would be on this scale. Like even if they're 5-foot squares.
Right. So 40-foot cube would be. Well, I'm assuming that these are 10-foot. Actually, you sure they want to be 5-foot? Because I basically am making these squares 10 feet just because it's easier than trying to make a 500-foot.
Well, I
5
assume Ogden and Brian are quite close together, and Green and Brian are within 5 feet of each other. I assume me and Waves and me and that other chap. I don't know. 5 feet sounds about right because we were all very close together, weren't we?
I guess so. Because what I was going to say was that if the scale is 10 feet, then that right there is a 40-foot cube.
Okay, so if it's 10 feet, that's a 40-foot cube. If it's not, if it's 5 feet, the 40-foot cube is massive. Basically.
Yeah, exactly right. So what I'm saying is that this could probably get everybody, essentially everybody, maybe leaving out Brian. Oops.
So it's your choice then, because I can do this either way. Do you want, from a logistical point of view, it to be 10 feet squares or 5 feet squares?
10 feet would be easier, if you don't mind.
10 feet would be easier?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, with that, Silver just goes, well, it looks like diplomacy has failed. And you kind of see him like scrunch his hands up and scrunch his eyes up and then let his hands go. And he successfully casts slow.
Ooh, okay. Very nice, very nice.
So slow, for anybody who doesn't know, you alter time around you for up to 6 creatures of your choice in a 40-foot cube within range. Each creature must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be affected by the spell for the duration. So I'd like all of them to make wisdom saving throws. And it's only the baddies that I'm picking.
Okay, we'll start with the... we'll work with the top left, and then we'll go clockwise. So we'll start with the guy on the top left, who is definitely not going to make it. The guy who's been grievously hurt. What's the DC, did you say?
15.
Is not going to make it either. Ogmund. Wow, these rolls. Ogmund is not going to make it.
It's a wisdom saving throw. I assumed Ogmund might not make it.
Yeah. I've spent a lot of time working through the newspapers, I have, you know.
I kind of gambled on that, I gotta be honest with you.
Okay, the one that you've been talking to through his head, who seems to have lost his nerve, also fails.
So we're
oh my god,
5
these rolls
for 6
are awful. I literally have not rolled over a 7 for any of these.
Good, keep it going.
Okay, you said, I'm sorry, you said DC what?
15.
What's the matter, DM? No dark fate in this campaign?
Yeah, apparently not. Literally the entire group failed.
Awesome. So they're all slowed. So the affected target's speed is halved.
Yep.
It takes a -2 penalty to its AC and dexterity saving throws.
Okay.
And it can't use reactions.
Excellent.
Now, on its turn, it can either use an action or a bonus action, not both. I'm specifically looking at Ogwyn now. Regardless of the creature's abilities or magical items, it can't make more than 1 melee or ranged attack during its turn. And let me know if the creature decides to cast a spell, because we have to make another roll for that.
Is there a saving throw after each turn, or how does this...
A creature affected by this spell makes another wisdom saving throw at the end of each of its turns. On a successful save, the effect ends. Otherwise, it lasts for its concentration 1 minute.
That was a fairly clutch slow spell. All right. Okay, noted. So, good work, Silvo. Where do you want to move, if anywhere?
He's not going to move anywhere. As a reaction, he is going to have mage armor cast on him. So you just see this like shimmer.
As a reaction, you can't react unless something has been done to you.
An Eldritch Adept can use Armor of Shadows.
Oh, okay.
So it's technically a reaction, but it's not like I'm reacting to something.
Okay, got it.
It's like a bonus action. Sorry, a bonus action.
Got it. Bonus action. That's fine. That's
there.
Just
Sorry,
make sure.
my apologies.
That's no problem.
So I've now my AC has gone up a little bit.
Okay. Right. Well,
that's me.
This one here, okay, the next ones to move are these ones. Oh, man. It's very interesting to see whether they're going to attack the bird or the one who just slowed them down. I think they're going to attack the one that slowed them down.
The bird hasn't done anything wrong.
Well, that's why they're attacking the one who was.
You have been drawing a bit of attention to yourself.
You were
Gaunt's
singing.
name
You were like,
notwithstanding.
right. Okay. So let's see. This is so it's not going to move. It's just going to attack. Its attack, though, is a double attack, but it won't move anywhere because of your slow.
It's not.
It's not a double attack.
Because it's slowed. It can use one attack.
Well, one of its attack actions, though. Wait a minute.
Regardless of the creature's abilities or magic items, it can't make more than one melee or ranged attack during its turn.
Got it. Cool. All right. So it's going to make its one attack then. Let's see.
This is also what I was banking on. I was like, all of these
Yep.
MFs are going to have multiple attacks. I can feel it.
15.
Brian is sweating much less now.
15
that
your AC?
is my AC.
All right. So I don't suppose slow is concentration, is it?
It is, yes.
All right. So first of all, you're going to take 7 points of damage, slashing damage, and I need you to make a concentration check to see if you maintain this slow.
How do I make a concentration check?
So there is. It's a constant. I believe it is a. Actually, wait. Hold on, because they've changed. It changed it. It used to be a con saving throw, but it's either con or wisdom. Hold on 1 second.
And you have a D4 added to that because of bless.
Thank you.
Yeah, Constitution. That's what I thought. Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw
Yes.
plus my D4. So let's do that. I'm on the wrong screen. There we go. I was trying to roll the dice on my character sheet then. That was silly. So
DC
let's
10
go.
we're looking for here, by the way.
DC 10. Okay, cool.
Kind of imaginary.
So that's the raw con roll, and then that's the D4.
Okay. Yeah, you maintain the concentration, so they remain slowed. And then they will. This one is going to try to make his saving throw to come clear of it. Oh, and he critically succeeds at it. So.
Hey, nice.
So this guy is
That's
no longer
this
slowed.
one, isn't it?
No, the one on the left. One on the left.
Oh, the ones on the left. This one. Okay,
That guy.
Cool.
Yeah, that guy. The guy that was right would not have hit that hard.
He looks like Sean Bean. We know what must happen.
Exactly. I've tried to take the ring. I have. Okay. This one does not simply walk into Mordor. He attacks Waves, who is next to him. So, again, is only going to get one attack off on you, as previously stated. I think that's going to be a pretty bad miss. That is a 12 Waves. I assume that's not going to hit.
Yeah, no, that doesn't hit the bird, but the bird is very pissed.
Yeah. No, I don't blame you. I mean, you have every right to be.
Suddenly
okay.
being attacked.
I know. It's just, okay. Now, let's see. This grievously hurt one here gets to go next and is going to attempt to swing his scimitar at the one who just flamed through him try into next week, or at least he's going to attempt to. Let's see.
I yelled, "Look out!"
Yeah, we could still choose peace. That's a 16 to hit.
Just hits.
All right, let's see. That is going to do. That is going to do 5 points of slashing damage to you. So there's that. Okay, and that is going to lead us to Green. Green, you are. You may wish to choose the path of peace at the moment. It appears everyone around you is choosing something opposite.
He's just... He despairs. He really does despair.
Yeah. Is that an action to despair?
Yeah, I think it
It
is.
takes a full action of despairing.
Did I just see Modfoil get hit?
I don't know that you'd be able to with Ogmund right there plus Brine, although Brine is admittedly on the ground, having just put her boot on. I don't think
All right,
so,
well-
especially because but you definitely know that there's fighting
No,
going
I
on
was
over there. So
I was getting
I
ready
will
to draw my scimitar, so I'm standing up.
you are standing. Okay, that's fair.
Well,
Either way, that'll make it
I'm-
even harder.
I'm definitely making an indignant sound upon being attacked.
Oh yeah, you can definitely know that there are people being hit for sure, Green.
Okay. Well, green's not good for much apart from healing, so he's just gonna step in between Big Man and Brian and put his hands up. Peace now. And while he's saying peace, he is going to summon a spiritual weapon.
Just in case.
Peace,
Sounds
spiritually.
like a convenient loophole.
But his spiritual weapon is a spiritual brush. You know, it's like a spiritual sword-sized.
Is it a paintbrush or is it a like?
Oh, like a wire cleaning brush. You know, like if it hits, it's gonna just really rough up the skin.
The one that you put into bottles.
Yeah, exactly one of those. Yeah, it's a bottle cleaning brush.
Roll 20. I am not going to get a dustpan, even though you happen to have this existing. No, I reject your attempts to get me to buy yet more assets for you, all right?
Sometimes you've got to scrub their soul, not just their boots.
Oh, my gosh.
I think that's a bonus action.
Okay, wait.
Can he like he's not gonna attack somebody unprovoked. Can I just have a reaction to hit the guy if he hits me?
Sure.
But he's gonna do it in a very like no. Bad.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
That is wonderful. Like,
Can I use that? Oh, come on. Why won't you let me use that? It's so good. All right, fine. Why are you not letting me use any of these? This is amazing. Oh, God. Damn it. There's a real... Okay. Well, this is being the no fun police here because apparently I can't bring... Oh, there we go. I know it's a paintbrush. It's the best I can do. I was trying to find a cleaning brush. I couldn't find... I had so many good options, but... Oh, there we go. Perfect. Is that better, Green?
Yeah. Thank you.
Nice.
Oh, man. All right, wait. I'm going to give it under your control. So Green now has control of the brush.
the magical brush.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, my God. Okay. So somebody's spiritual brush, as it were. And Green, are you going to stay within range here of Ogmund and so on?
Yeah, I'm standing between him and Brian.
Okay.
I've still got my hands up, just like,
yeah,
peace. And there's a floating spiritual bottle cleaner.
That's the sort of brush you soap someone's mouth with. Exactly, Balin. That's what we're about here. I cannot wait to see this brush in action. Okay. Got it, Green. Very good stuff. I love it. All right. Now, this one who reacted badly to begin with is, let's see. They are going to... Let's see. All right. He says, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about all of this. I really am. And he intones some magical words. And you get the sense that several of his companions have been boosted in some way.
Is he casting a spell?
Oh, yes, he is. That's right. So you can do whatever your thing is. What do I have to roll?
So if the creature attempts to cast a spell and is slowed, if the casting time is one action, roll a d20. On an 11 or higher, the spell does not take effect until the creature's next turn.
I roll that, or he roll you, like
you can roll that.
Okay,
I can roll it. I don't mind.
Well, I rolled a 15, so that means that it doesn't take effect until next turn. You're saying?
That means it does. No. On an 11 or higher, the spell doesn't take effect until the creature's next turn, and the creature must use its action on that turn to complete the spell. If it can't, the spell is wasted.
Okay, and on a 10 or lower, what would have happened?
I assume the spell
just goes
is
off
successful.
normally. Okay,
Yeah, it doesn't specify.
Okay. All right, so he starts to intone some things, and maybe he's a little surprised that it doesn't seem to be working as fast as he might have hoped.
Who was this, sorry?
This is... exactly. This one right here.
This dude.
Yes.
Right, okay, cool.
And is also going to try to clear and totally does not clear the slow. All right. That's going to lead us to Brian is up next. Brian, you've got a big angry Ogman next to you. And also a floating brush next to you as well.
Can I reach Ogman without moving? I need to move. Like,
yes, he's right next to you.
Beside.
Yep.
So because
I mean, green is standing between you, so you would need to like step to the left or right of green and then be like, you know. But other than that, yes, you're right next to us, Ogman.
Can I just like as I'm moving past, I'm just gonna pat green, say thank you, and then I'm gonna move down here.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Can I do that?
You can do that if you wish.
And then I am going to attack Ogmund with both of my scimitars.
Okay.
And 25.
Wow, that's certainly going to narrowly hit by a lot.
I know that means I rolled a 19, but I also have improved critical, so that's also
that's a crit. What's your max damage then on that? What would your max damage be on that attack?
My max damage is 1d6 plus 3, so 9.
9 points of damage. Okay, so Ogman's like as your scimitar cuts into him, and you can now do this again.
Green looks outraged, like, what is this? He's just like top 10 anime betrayals here. Like in his mind, he thinks that we're all peaceful.
Brian is going to get the brush in a second. I can feel it coming.
I was about to say that he was going to try to parry you, but that is a reaction, and he can't use that right now. So
nope.
He's not going to parry you. He's just going to take it. All right, you have a second scimitar slash, I believe, coming.
Someone's being super useful right
now. 21 to hit.
Yep. Absolutely.
With 5 slashing damage.
Okay. Yep.
And then I'm going to use my action surge.
Yep.
And do it again.
Do it again. Okay.
Remember, you can.
I forgot how funny it was to be a fighter.
D4s to any attacks if you need to.
Because of the bless, yeah.
Yes.
How long does bless last?
Oh, it's like 10 minutes or something ridiculous. It is concentration though.
Okay. Is it you just get 1 extra D4?
And I'm just going to roll my D4 1 second.
And yes, that is correct.
Okay, cool.
Although I think at a higher level...
Plus 3, so...
yeah, go ahead.
11. Does 11 hit?
11 is not going to hit. At a higher level, you can increase... yeah, that's counting the -2 as well.
Okay, cool.
Is that a higher level green? Maybe a 1d6 at a higher level of bless, but I don't remember what the level is to go up that extra that extra thing.
No, I don't think so. I think it's just extra people that you can bless.
Yeah, I see right there. Okay, lovely. Okay.
Okay, so my other second scimitar attack does 22 hit?
Well, wait a minute. Didn't, because we did one scimitar attack, right, which hit, and then you did a second scimitar attack. Isn't this already your second one?
That's my actions. Doesn't my action
the action surge.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I forgot about the yep. I forgot about the action surge. Sorry. Yes, that will hit for sure.
So that's another 6.
All right. Ow.
Fighters, man. Fighters.
Yep.
Oh my god.
So Ogman, like, as Brian just slashes repeatedly. So are you singing something like "I am the Pirate King"? I just want to be clear. Just kidding.
I mean, I could, but then they would know I'm a pirate.
That's true. You're still trying to keep it incognito. Yes. Okay. Are you moving anywhere, Brian? Besides, you moved up, or to the side, so you could.
No, I'm staying here so that I can. Yeah.
Well, the time has come for him to act. Actually, he goes right after you. He is exceedingly displeased with you, so he is going to attack you with his spear. Let's see. Wow. He would be attacking you so many times if it were not for this slow. All right. Let's just all think of that together, chat. What lovely it would be. Having said that, however, I think he's probably likely to hit with a 26.
Yes.
Okay, let's see. That is going to be... All right. He's going to do 8 points of damage, and I need you to make for me, please, a strength saving throw, Brian, as he strikes you really, really hard.
+4.
Oh, you just are like,
19.
you just hang in there. You're like, whatever. I'm not going to be knocked off my feet. All right. Now he's going to attempt to get rid of the slow. And he sure won't do it. All right. Good stuff. He's going to stay right where he is, Brian. That's going to lead us to Waves. You are up next. You're surrounded by a group of angry and slow people.
Can I tell him off with my brush though? Because he attacked my friend.
Oh, sure. If you want to, you can tell him off with your brush as a free action.
Excellent. I'd like to tell him off with my brush, please.
He's just like, as your. How does a brush tell? Does he like rubbing on his, on his body or something?
Yeah, it goes. It's a bottle of. It goes in his ear.
Oh, that's the worst. Oh,
it's like a Q-tip. You'd never do that. All right.
Oh God.
Very, very good. He is officially told off.
I am uncomfortable now.
Waves, you're up.
It's too far, Green. That's too far.
So, I'm gonna use Misty Step and teleport myself.
Ooh, nice.
Yes, behind Ozymandias.
-2 damage in ear. Okay, behind Ozymandias, you can do that. Also, thank you to Zatoire for the Prime sub. Appreciate that.
What I need to. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, and then I'm gonna skewer him from behind.
Hit.
1 minute. I just managed to click away my character sheet, which I might need in this moment. Do I try to knock him over is the question. Give me a moment, I need to read this for just a moment. The thunder, the fury of the tide.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that is for 1 minute. Yeah, let's do this.
Okay.
No, how many bonus actions can I do in a turn?
1 bonus action.
Yeah, then not do it. Let's just attack. Okay. 1 weapon, so duelist does apply. Click. No. There. Submit.
20 will
20
certainly hit.
And there we go. 9 damage.
Ow.
And now that I've leveled up, because I haven't done this before, I now get an extra attack. So we're gonna do this again.
Okay.
I just forget that it's always like asking me, is this a normal roll? 27 hits, I guess.
Oh, yeah, it sure does.
And then we're gonna do this again. For 10 damage.
Wow. Big strikes. That is, he is in a lot of pain. That hurt a lot.
That I expected that when I
you anticipated that.
Yes.
Okay, and you're staying where you are, Waves, I assume?
Yeah, I think that's a good place that maybe the magic person next to me will rethink what he's doing. Or at least where he's staying.
Okay, so, he, in fact, is going to, let's see, he's going to draw back, so he's going to, trying to think if he can, I guess he cannot move right now, he's not going to be able to do that. So instead what he's going to do is he is going to cast, all right, so he is, pull up the thing, there we go. All right, so he, let's see, is going to cast something in tones loudly, and swirling, coming from the ground and swirling around him are these shadowy spirits that float around him, and they basically encompass all of the area next to him, which incorporates specifically Silvo and Waves. And we'll talk about the impact that all that has when we get to your turns.
Was this Matey Boy's spell?
That was actually this was the and I need to make that. We need to make that save, right? What was the thing I needed to do to make the 20 or higher or the 11 or higher?
So,
right?
yes,
If you
11 or
roll
higher on a
11 higher,
d20.
it's not happening.
This time you
Yes,
rolled an
'cause-
8, so this does
Okay,
go off.
so this is him casting.
That's him casting it.
Gold medallion man. Got it.
That's right. Okay, so you now have another effect around him. He says, "Look upon my spirits, ye mighty in despair." No, I'm just kidding. It's a poetry joke.
I've seen better.
Is this very obviously like evil magic?
Oh, I'd say so. Let's see. Let's go with about like that. And let's put that up like, I don't know if it hits Brian. No, it really would hit like this. Okay. Lovely. And now we're going to see if he clears the slow. No, he sure doesn't. Boy, these guys do not want to be not slowed. All right, Morthwill, you were up.
Alrighty. Well, for my bonus action, I think first verse same as the second verse same as the first. I don't know those colloquialisms. I'm from North. So flame on against these two again.
Okay.
Was that DC 15 saving throw?
And that one's going to be
Take
close.
half damage.
Okay, the one right next to you, who is grievously hurt, does manage to make it. Although, wait, you said disadvantage on the saving throw, right? When slowed.
Oh, yeah. No, he's got they've got a dex penalty, haven't they? Yeah.
Yes, they got dex penalty.
Okay, so
-2 on dex.
Oh, -2 on dex. Okay, well then they do not make it.
I believe so. Give me 2 seconds. I'll just confirm.
Or is it disadvantage? It matters.
I'm loving this synergy though.
-2 penalty on dex saving throws.
Okay. Yep. So then they miss it, which is actually better for you than what the disadvantage would have conveyed.
Okay.
The other one left to him, next to him though, does make the save because he is not under a -2 because he's the only one who's gotten out of being slow so far.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay. Well, first guy takes 7.
He goes up in flames and screaming falls to the ground and expires.
Okay. And the second guy takes 3 divided by half. So
okay,
that's 1, I think.
just a little bit. He's like, ow.
He now has no eyebrows. That's the only practical effect.
Yeah. Basically, that's right.
Then, as part of the bonus action, the little iron dragon is going to jump out of my hand, and I would like it to scamper 15. Would that be 15 from here to here to here?
Yeah, I believe that's right.
Okay. Let me just put a little thing. There it does.
It's not the red biome.
I'm just going to put a little red mark just so I know. It's just for tracking purposes. So
Gotcha.
that is where my little tiny iron dragon is sitting at the moment.
Sounds like a
plan. And now, for my next action, I'm going to attach to the end of my arcane firearm a prism attached to 3 barrels.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast Scorching Ray, 2nd level spell.
I see. All right.
And I'm going to do...
It's a ranged spell attack, probably, right?
It is a ranged spell attack within 120 feet, so I'm going to go against... He's going to get 1. And he's going to get 1. And he's going to get 1.
Are you sure that... I don't know that you can hit that without hitting Silvo, Morthwill. If you look where you are and where Silvo is... I guess unless you slide
Just
forward.
say within range, not line of sight.
Yeah, but Scorching Ray, if all you have to do is slide up, I would say about 5 feet.
Okay.
It just doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like a magic missile, so it doesn't make rational sense to me that it wouldn't in some way.
Okay.
But I think that's fine. That doesn't even bring you right next to to this guy really. So.
No, right. So I need to make 3 bloody attack rolls.
Okay, so we look at this guy
each
first.
Of these.
Okay.
We'll start with the guy nearest me. Yeah.
Okay.
There's +1 to each of these because I'm casting it through my enhanced arcane focus, which is my arcane firearm.
Lovely.
But that's not accounted
plus
for.
a D4 as well.
Yep.
From Bless.
Oh lord! Right. I didn't come here for math. All right.
Shiny math rocks.
Well, the first to hit roll is a 24.
That will hit.
Okay, which we'll do. Hang on.
Sniper.
So
Seriously.
that's going to hit him for 8.
Okay.
But no, I'm just going to hit him for 8.
Okay.
Yeah. Second guy, second Sean Bean down here.
Sean beat it.
One does not simply. Oh.
That's 18, 19, and plus a D. So that's 19 plus. So that's 20. 22.
22 will hit.
Yeah. And he is also going to take now 12 damage.
Oh. Okay. Right.
And again, Mr. Totally not a cult leader over here. He's going to face the true rage of the Lord Mill Mountains.
Okay.
16, 17, 20.
20 will definitely hit.
Okay. I saved the best for last on this one because in addition to 7 damage, because one attack I can make through my arcane focus every round, I can add an additional, where are my damn notes? An additional D8.
Okay.
So he's also going to take an extra 3 damage on top of that from Scorching Ray.
3 damage on top of that. Okay. He is starting to look quite hurt. All right.
All right. I think movement. No, I'm good with where I am. I think that's fine. So that's my turn.
Okay. And what a turn it was. Okay, Morthwill. But believe it or not, I think that was literally the first round. It was very busy and very productive. So we will bring this back up to the top of the round, and this will be starting with Silvo. So far, so good, Silvo. But as you will note, you are currently in an area of these shadows. So I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me, please, because you're starting your turn here.
That's the D4 because it's in saving throws too, right?
On bless, I don't know. Let's double check.
Do I get just one bless D4? Or is it like once per turn? Because I've used one.
No, I think with bless it would be. Oh, that's true. Whenever a target makes an attack roll or a saving throw before the spell ends, so you can roll a D4 in addition to this.
Wow, cool, excellent stuff. Damn, bless is real good. 3, so 13.
Okay, that is unfortunately not enough. So these things sort of swoop into you, and let's see. You are going to take as you feel these things ripping at your skin. You are going to take 18 points of necrotic damage, Silvo.
Wow.
As these things tear into your skin, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw again for me, please.
Con saving throw. Con saving throw is 7.
Plus bless.
Plus bless is 8.
That, unfortunately, is not going to get it done, and it means that you drop the slow. To which all these guys are like, finally, let's go. No, they don't do that. Let's see. So they're all like, they are unslowed, unfortunately.
Could we just move Green's brush? Is Ogman still under that? Or is Ogman... Okay, cool.
Sorry, Green. I was trying to get.
I was just like, where did the big guy go?
Sorry, Green. I was trying to get.
As long as we're aware that the brush is in that square and not the square above me.
No, that's totally fine. Yeah, I was trying to get augment actually. But yeah, there we go. Okay, so yeah, that's because these things are sweeping around you as we speak. Silvo.
That's a good question from Triffids. Are they unslowed now or at the end of the round? Give me just 2 seconds.
Yeah, double check. I don't
Creature
know.
affected by this spell. Well, it depends on how concentration works.
I mean, if the spell drops on your end,
it
it wouldn't hold on. I don't think.
Yeah.
So
it makes sense. Makes total sense. Okay.
So okay. Blah 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 blah. So Silvo, you are still alive, just, and but you were in the midst of this shadowy circle of creatures.
Okay. How far away am I from Osmandius?
You were probably about, I would say, 10 feet. And incidentally, in case anyone in chat is curious, Ozymandias had to make his own Constitution saving throws, which he critically succeeded on. So when he took damage, and a lot of it from Morthwill. So Just letting you folks know that I have not forgotten on the other side the concentration, but he managed to hold it.
Who am I within 10 feet of?
I would say this guy, Osmandius, and I don't know about Ogmund. Probably Ogmund, I guess. Basically those three, and of course,
what about you?
And Morthwill,
did you
of course.
shift?
I'm assuming.
Yeah, Morthwill. Okay.
Yeah, I'm where I am on the map. That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I am going to use meta magic, which I've never used before.
Ooh.
So I'm going to use Quickened Spell. I'm going to burn 2 sorcery points. And for anyone who's unaware, when you cast a spell that has a casting time of 1 action, you can spend 2 of your sorcery points to change the casting time to 1 bonus action for this casting. So let me just burn those 2 sorcery points. And I'm going to cast Tasha's Mind Whip on Ogmund.
Whoops.
So I would like Ogmund to make an intelligence saving throw, please.
His deep knowledge of crossword puzzles. Yeah, no, he does not.
My target
Boy!
well.
Right, a
DC
crossword
15.
puzzle. No, yeah, you have. He narrowly fails by a mile.
Okay, excellent stuff. So, as well as taking damage, which I'll roll in a second, it can't take a reaction until the end of its next turn.
Okay.
And moreover, on its next turn, it must choose whether it gets a move, an action, or a bonus action. But it can only do one of those things.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Yes, I'm casting it at normal level. Yeah, so and I will just roll. Oh, I forgot to look at how many dice it is. 3. There we go. Let's have a quick look at how much damage we do. Not plus anything. Oh, not minus anything either. He takes. That's a terrible roll. He takes 5 points of psychic damage.
Raw. Okay.
He's still up and about then.
Oh yes. Yeah, he doesn't look all that hurt.
So that was technically a bonus action.
Okay.
And now my action is Silvo looks super worse for wear right now. Like he is not looking well in the slightest. So he is going to spit blood on the floor, and he's going to go look directly at Osmandius and say, "You want to see dark magic? All right, buddy." And he's going to let his coat fall to the floor, and he's going to cast Arms of Hadar.
Ooh.
So within a 10-foot sphere, dark tendrils of energy erupt from me and batter all creatures within that sphere. Unfortunately, Morthwill, this includes you. So I need everyone. I need Osmandius, Sean Bean 1, Morthwill, and Ogmund to make me a strength saving throw.
Oh, plus D4.
Oh, we're sitting on that 2 for a while.
15.
Oh, thank God.
Is that enough or not enough?
Okay. DC 15.
Okay. Let's see. The one next to Morthwill is going to make that. Ogmund is. You said DC 15, and it's what kind
DC
of?
15.
It's a. What is it? What kind of check is it again?
Strength.
Strength.
It's a strength saving throw.
Well, that is his good stuff. No, he's going to make that too.
Cool.
Let's see, and Osmandius is not going to make it.
Cool. In fairness, Silver was kind of aiming this at Osmandius anyway.
Okay.
But that means basically anyone who passed takes half damage. So I'll roll. Now, if it's multiple people, do you want me to roll for each person damage?
It depends on what
That's
it
what
says.
we normally do. So it says on a successful each creature in that area must make a strength saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes 2d6 necrotic damage and can't take reactions until the end of its next turn. On a successful save, they take half that amount but suffer no other effects.
Since this is, I would say roll 1 for the 3 of them. So roll 1 2d6, plus whatever, and then we'll half that for the people we need to, and not for the people we don't.
So, flare-wise, I like to think that these tentacles kind of, as the coat falls, the tentacles kind of fall out the back of Silvo's back. and sort of raise him up very slightly before several other tentacles to start whipping around him.
We got Dr. Octopus here.
Pretty much,
Thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
So 4 points of damage full on Ozymandias, and he necrotic damage and can't take reactions until the end of his next turn. 2 points of necrotic damage to Seanbeam 1, Morthwheel, and Augment.
Okay. Let's see. Seanbeam 1 is there. And Ozymandias won't be taking any actions, as the great Hans Gruber says in Die Hard, so he won't be joining us for the rest of his life. He is slaughtered by the tentacles.
Can I do a thing?
Kill Stealer.
Can I do a thing? Can I do a flare?
Sure, if you want. The shadows, by the way, immediately dissipate.
This is exactly what I wanted to happen. Right, so the tentacles go all over the place. Green, apologies, you've never seen this happen before. There's just this cloud of tentacle energy going off in the middle of all of this. One of the tentacles goes around Ozymandias' neck and then drops him to the floor.
Wow.
No, we're just like straight up killing people. We're not like non-lethally.
There's no subdue with this spell, unfortunately.
Interesting.
There's going to be difficult conversations when it gets to port.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. Well, that happens. He does not make it. There's sort of a kind of a slight gasp from some of the assembled other people that are not you. And Silvo, are you moving anywhere?
No, but if I can say something, I'd like to.
Quick.
You still have time to surrender.
Okay. Looks like they're not going to do that yet. But, okay. This guy is going to step up at the tentacle person. And is going to, this time is going to get a chance to attack twice. Because is no longer slowed. Okay, let's see. So we are looking at... okay, we are looking at a 19 and a 7.
19 will hit, 7 will not.
Okay. So 19 and a 7.
Silver just looks at this guy. There's like blood pouring down his face.
Oh,
like
yeah, no,
his body looks battered.
It is very, very, very intimidating, but not enough to keep him from doing 11 points of damage to you of slashing.
Oh yeah,
damage.
no, he looks like he would fall over in a strong wind.
Silvo drops to the ground to -6, I believe is what I have you at. Silvo is down. The other guy is going to attempt to attack the one who keeps flaming him, Morthwheel, and is
I'm
also
a flaming nuisance, I know.
and is going to get 2 attacks, both with longsword, and we're looking at a 19 and a 19.
In reaction to that, I'm going to cast Shield and raise my AC to 21 so they miss.
Nice, very well, excellent work. All right,
So
good
Morthwheel
work.
just goes, thunk, and like
Yep.
it's just a metal shield just drops down around him
Good
from his
work.
helmet.
All right. Green, you are up next. You just saw Silvo go down. You also saw something horrific happen just before that involving Silvo. But Silvo is currently on the ground. And so you were up. What do you want to do?
People who make choices to kill other people don't need to be conscious. Green would
That's
like to. I mean, Silvo's unconscious. Giving him an ear cleaning with the brush isn't going to help anything.
You might find it
mental
satisfying.
note to
I
do
don't know.
it.
It
Yeah.
might
when
make
he's up.
Green feel better.
his nose with
Sometimes
it.
just whacking on a thing feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I slip around Mr. Dude without giving him an attack of opportunity?
Let's see. 5, 10. I would say so if, assuming that Brian lets you pass through, but I'm guessing Brian would, but you tell me, Brian.
Yeah.
Okay, so then yes.
Can I cast Revivify on the guy that just got killed?
Ooh, okay. Interesting. Ooh, that's cool. All right. So you see Ozymandias, as I hurriedly go to get my Osmandius token again. Bear with me just a second. I'm going to go to another spot to go copy and paste this guy. Hang on just 1 second. Okay. Right.
We're not getting the real Osmandius back, just a copy.
Just a clone.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, God damn it, not that guy. It's the wrong guy.
Eternal.
Reverse Sean Bean, where like,
I've been waiting for this moment my whole life.
This is my moment.
Oh my God. Okay. That's the one we're looking for. Okay, and he's like, and he looks up and he sees you having touched him, Green, and he's kind of just staring at you completely like thunderstruck. Like just staring at you.
Have you heard of our Lord and Savior? The quiet one, Eldath. She has saved your life this day. Can I non-lethally just like bop him with my brush? Because I don't want him to attack us, but you know.
I actually am not even going to require you to make a roll. I think that under the circumstances, given what he's been through in the last 10 seconds, I think it's very reasonable that he's just like, huh, and then bash, huh, and then he just falls unconscious. But he is not bleeding out.
Cool.
He's just knocked out.
Green's going to say, he's still alive. Now everyone calm down.
Oh my God, that was really awesome. All right. Good stuff, Green. I assume that you are not going to do anything else at the moment because you just moved into that spot, unless you have some other bonus thing that you want to do.
I can move my brush up to 20 feet as a bonus action. So
Fair.
I'm going to go and put it next to Sylvain to get ready to give him an ear cleaning when he wakes up.
Okay.
He is dying.
Outstanding. I can't wait to see how this goes down. Okay. Next up is the guy who, believe it or not, some time ago had a spell that was going off. Would have been helpful to have that spell go off before. But in any case, it now appears that these others are buffed in some way, although you don't know exactly how. He also looks pretty terrified. I'd say it's fair to say. Okay. Brian, that's going to lead us to you. So you've just seen all of this happen in the last 10 seconds or so. His neck gets snapped. Silvo then goes down. Then Green goes over, revivifies the bad guy, the quote bad guy, Osmandius, and Silvo is bleeding out. And you still have an angry Ogmund. What would you like to do?
Okay. The guy to my left, the one that Waves attacked, how hurt does he look?
He is this. You mean this guy?
Yes.
That guy is pretty hurt. I don't think you attacked him, did you?
Him.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I attacked Ozymandias.
Yeah. So this guy has been unattacked so far.
Wasn't he the one that cast the original spell that buffed people?
He did, yes.
So,
And then-
but his spell has
no,
only
but-
just gone off.
It just went off because of the slow. The slow that happened.
Okay. But he looks pretty hurt. Am I right?
No, he hasn't been touched yet. He doesn't look very strong to begin with, to be honest with you. But
Okay. Take out the ads first. I'm going to attack him.
okay.
With both of my scimitars.
I just had this image of Green standing in the middle going revivify, just spinning in a circle, just like revivify. Okay.
Okay. 20, not nat.
We'll definitely hit.
For 8 slashing damage.
Okay. Looks exceedingly hurt.
And then I'll hit him with my other scimitar.
Hit it again.
And then 12.
Okay. And 12 will of 12 damage. Or no, 12.
No, 12 to hit.
12 to hit. No, that's not going to do it.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I take that back. Sorry, he is not well armored. I take that back. Yes, it does hit.
For 8 slashing damage.
Yes, he is exceedingly dead. You slash through him.
I'm not going to move. I'm going to stay where I am. I know I'm going to get hit by the big guy, but I would rather he went for me rather than Green or Morthwill or Waves.
Okay. All right. On Ogman's turn, let's see. He is going to attack you now that he is no longer slowed 3 times with his spear. So that's not great. Let's see. So we're looking at an 18, a 14, and a 25.
That's 2 out of 3. I've got AC of 16.
Okay. Oh, and sorry. He was hit with the whip, right? What does the whip do again, Silvo?
Oh, yes. Sorry. Tasha's mind whip. Let me just bring that up a second.
Because I think it means that he could only pick one thing, which is what he was going to do here, was the attack. Okay.
Moreover, on its next turn, it can't take a reaction until the end of its next turn. Moreover, on its next turn, it must choose whether it gets a move, action, or a bonus.
Okay.
It can only do one.
It's doing it as an action, so that's what I figured. Okay. Okay. You are going to take 22 points of piercing damage, Brian.
Jesus.
As he stabs into you because he's real mad. And I forgot, he has a brute feature, which is 1 extra die of its damage when the gladiator hits with it. Okay. So that is an additional 4. So I think they have you down to 20, if I'm not mistaken.
I've got 20.
Yeah. Okay, and he's not moving anywhere because of what we said. So that's going to bring us to Osmandius, who is unconscious. So that's going to bring us on to Waves. Okay, Waves, you were up. There's been a whole lot that's gone down. I don't even know how to summarize it. What do you want to do?
Yeah, Waves was currently in the mood to follow the lead of other people, but people are doing weird things. So Waves is currently very undecided. Are we supposed to kill these people or not? And I'm not... Now, rules-wise, can I actually attack non-lethally with a rapier? I mean, how?
Well, you'd be trying to basically hit with the hilt of a sword, essentially, to kind of deal non-lethal damage. So you could do something like that.
Okay, let's try this. I'm gonna, because actually Waze was really proud of what they did last turn, but nobody said anything. So I'm gonna do another Misty Step.
Okay.
Oh no, that's more than 30 feet. These people are not really good at it. Is the brush where the brush is? Is this where the brush is? Where the brush is?
I think the brush is on top of Silvo, just waiting at the minute.
Yeah, Green, is that right?
Okay.
Is that where the brush is? Is on top of Silvo? Green, is that right?
Green?
The brush is on Silvo.
Okay, I was just checking.
On Silver, okay.
Got
So, Green is looking good. Brian is looking good. Morthwell is looking good. It's just Silver who is currently in a little bit of trouble,
Well,
right?
Yeah, Brian's taking a bit of damage, but...
Yeah, looking good is
I'm
a
still
relative
alright at the
form.
moment.
Yeah.
I probably
Okay, I'm
can't take
gonna-
another one of those hits, though. Put it that way.
Yeah, it's okay. I can't move my token. I don't know why. Okay, I'm gonna take a step towards Brian if somebody can move me, because I can't.
Yeah, it says that you can. I don't know why, but I'll move you.
I'll try again, but it didn't work. And then I'm gonna... So I'm not gonna Misty Step, which is... I would have to, but it's not really for that 5 feet. It's not. I'm gonna call the Fury of the Tide.
Okay.
Which means for 1 minute, if I hit a creature with a weapon attack, I can choose to push the target away from me.
Okay.
If I push it into another obstacle, the target takes more damage.
Okay.
So I'm just to try to get him away from Brian a bit. And now I'm gonna try to non-lethally, because apparently this is the new thing we're doing, and Waves is always trying to please everyone. I'm going to hit him with my rapier.
One thing to note, by the way, is that if you want to finish him off non-lethally, he doesn't look super hurt yet. So I'm just letting you know that it's going to be a lot of non-lethal, but you can still do that. I'm just letting you know.
So I have to start again with like at the full hit points to kill.
No, you don't. You could start from his reduced number, but I'm just letting you know that it may take a little while.
Everybody has to start somewhere.
It's true. Journey starts with a single step. I agree.
Let's. The bless is still on me. Question?
Yeah, I believe so.
So we're gonna do a d4. So it's a 16 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay. That is 10. Well, not piercing in this case.
Okay. Got it. All right. Yeah, 10, just sort of raking it across his skull.
Okay. And extra attack incoming. 23 will hit, I assume.
Absolutely.
And that is another 9 damage, and I'm gonna push him back.
Okay. Okay. Which direction are you pushing him?
Oh, can I decide?
I think you push him. Well, you push him from you. Technically, I guess that would be here, actually, if you're just going straight back.
Yeah, I guess so. That was what I was thinking it would happen. So I'm fine with that.
So you do that. You push him back. Good work, Waves. You move there. I think that's the end of your turn.
I have moved, so I don't think there's anything else I can do.
So that leads us to Morthwill with Silvo on deck. And by deck, on deck, I mean trying to save death. All right. What would you like to do, Morthwill?
So for my action, Morthrill is going to draw a flat purple disc and screw it to the front of his arcane firearm, press it to the ground, and cause a wave of thunder to erupt in front of him.
Aha. Yes. Okay.
There's a 15-foot cube in
love the descriptions of these.
So basically, it's a 15-foot cube centered on my space. Not centered, but starting from... So it'd be these two guys should get hit by that.
Okay, yep. And it's a dex save or con save?
It is a con save on this one. DC 15 con save.
Okay, this one is going to make it. This one here is going to critically fail.
Okay, so in addition to full damage, this one is going to be pushed back 10 feet. Right, so here's the 2d8. Was it 2d8? Yeah, 2d8.
Okay.
Okay, that's 6 points.
Like. Starting to look kind of hurt.
And half damage to the one who made the save.
Okay.
No pushback. Also, any unsecured objects, so they probably got pelted with pebbles for good measure.
Crit
in the eye.
God bless him. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, that's that action. So for my next action, my bonus action rather.
For my next trick.
For my next trick, yes, that little iron dragon is going to scuttle down to... he doesn't like this guy.
Okay.
And click, whoosh, flame.
Okay.
Dex save.
Is this Mr. Whippy?
This is Mr. Whippy.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
This time he's going to make that save.
Okay, so
on
he's going
that
to take half damage. Oh, God. Where am I? Hang on, I need to adjust that. Spell has just spent as well. Too many actions. Right. That was that. I think it was 2d8 for fire damage, wasn't it? Oh, God. Too many tabs.
I think it was 2d8, yes, but...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. Just double checking. Yeah, 2d8 fire, so he's going to take half of this. So he's going to take 5 damage.
5 damage, okay, yeah. Like I say, starting to look reasonably hurt.
Sorry, yeah, I'm going to add that I got my D4 bonus damage as well, so I'm going to cast that on the guy who got pushed back as well.
You have bonus damage from...
For the Thunder Wave, from my Arcane
Wave.
Firearm,
Gotcha.
from my Enhanced Focus. So he took an extra 4 damage from the Thunder Wave.
Yep, starting to look quite hurt now. Okay. Good stuff, Morthwill. Where are you moving, if anywhere?
Well, the brush is blocking. I'm going to move... Yeah, I'm going to follow up by moving here.
Okay. Good stuff. Brings us up to the top of the round. Silvo, I need you to make a death saving throw for me, please.
Well, about that, Lifewell tattoo.
Oh.
So, suddenly, Silvo sits bolt upright, takes a sharp gasp of air, presumably gets hit with a brush,
in the ear.
In the ear, gets a.
Yeah, it comes in.
Yeah. So I don't know. Does that take me to 1 point?
I need to double check and see what Life Well does, but I would assume.
Yeah, I think it always has done in the past.
I think that's right. So,
but I don't know if that is my turn or that is because that brings me back and then I have a turn.
No, if it's because the death saving throw happens technically at the end of your turn, basically. So you're back up and functional, but back up by which I mean you're prone, or sitting up. But you are currently at 1 hit point. And yeah,
I just wanted to know if I could take a reaction or a bonus action or something like that.
Not the same turn that you come back from a death save, unless again I would, but double check the Life Well tattoo just to make sure while we're looking at this. But I don't think
you're
so.
right. Yeah, I'll just double check. Bear with me 2 seconds, just because it's important to know whether or not Silvo is going to disappear. Essentially. When you would be reduced to 0 hit points, you drop to 1 hit point instead. Once used, this property can't. Okay, cool. So it should have been the moment I fell rather than that point. That's fine as long as you're happy with it as it is right now.
I'm fine with that,
I'm
but
awake.
Yeah, I was gonna say okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So okay. Now these guys. Can the guy who's got the Mr. Whippy facing him move up to you, Morthwill?
It's tiny, so I don't know what the rule for moving into a space occupied by a tiny thing is.
I think he's just going to stand over you. He actually, what he'll probably do is he'll probably do this. So he'll come down. Where is he here? Because we're talking about 15 foot. No, what he's going to do is go here. He's actually 5 because he was 10 feet back, 10:50. Yeah. So he's going to flank you, Morthwill. He is tired of being flamed. That is going to be... I no longer need that tab open, speaking of people with a lot of tabs open. Okay. That is going to be a 22 on his first attack.
That'll hit.
And the second one is going to be a 15.
That misses.
Okay. So, on the 22...
God damn it, I should have made a note of that before.
Okay. That is 10 points of damage, Morthwill, of slashing damage with the longsword.
Okay, down to 23.
Yep. Now the other one... Ooh, what is he going to do? Is he going to attack Green? He's not going to attack Green because I think he's confused by what Green just did with Osmandius. So instead what he's going to do is he's going to turn and he's going to fire. He's going to attack the one who keeps shooting flame at him, which I think Morthwill would admit he richly deserves for multiple attempts. Let's see. We're looking at a 22 and a 15 on these two attacks. Oh, sorry. I beg your pardon. Yeah. I beg your pardon. I'm sorry. Because he's doing an advantage because of the flank. So I take that back. 22 on the first attack, 24 on the second attack. Sorry.
Yep, they'll both hit.
All right. So let's see. Looking at those. Okay. That is another 15 points of slashing damage. These guys hit. It's just none of you have allowed them to do anything for a while.
Yeah, down to 8.
But all right. It's a good thing you had this right. Okay. Green, you are now up and ready to go. Brian will be on deck. You can see that Silvo appears to be conscious, and your brush is washing out his ear with soap, as it were. What would you like to do?
What are Modfoil and Silvo's maximum HPs and current HPs?
I'm on 8 out of 40.
I'm on 1 out of 30.
I'm fine. I'm at 48 out of 55.
I'm 20 out of 54.
Sorry, I only asked those. Right, okay. So,
I mean, if we're sharing hit points, my guys are... No, just kidding.
Yeah, sorry, carry on.
I felt left out, sorry.
I have a Channel Divinity Preserve Life.
Okay.
I can restore 25 hit points between any creatures within 30 feet of me.
Okay.
And I can divide the hit points however I like. But I can only restore them to no more than half of their max hit points.
Yep.
So I guess I would like to give Silvo 14 up to 15.
Okay.
And then how many does that leave me with?
Should be 16. You said 30 points or 25 points?
No, 25.
So there'll be
So-
11 left.
And then 11 to Morthoil.
Very
Much
nice.
appreciated.
Very nice. Good stuff, Green.
And I'd like to quickly say to Silvo, I know you have darkness in you, but you still have the choice of how to use it. Don't murder people. And then
You can't quite hear you, there's a brush in it.
I was wondering if he heard anything with the brush.
No, the brush has moved to boop him on the nose.
Oh, okay.
And then I think my bless is still up, isn't it? My concentration is still up. So
I believe so, because nothing has actually hit you yet, and you haven't cast any other concentrations, I don't think. So, because Preserve Life, no, I don't think you have cast anything else. So yeah, still up.
excellent. In that case, I will go. Can I use movement then to go and stand here between Silvo and Big Man?
Sure, absolutely you can. Good stuff, Green. So Green was in the way. Brine, you are up. Barely. No, just kidding. It's your turn.
How strange.
Yeah, no joke.
No, that obviously Wave pushed the big dude away from me, but he's annoyed me now. I'm going in and attacking him with both of my scimitars. We've got the +4. Hang on, what, plus 1d4? Does 17 hit?
17 does hit, yes.
That'll be for 8 slashing damage.
Oh! And I assume you're doing this lethally, yes?
Yes.
You're not hitting with the
100%
flat of
yes.
the scimitar, okay.
I'm not backing away.
Right.
I want this guy's head.
Yep.
And the other scimitar plus. Oh, hang on. Come on. That is another 3, so 18.
Yes, we'll hit.
For another 8 slashing damage.
Okay. He looks a little, slightly the worse for wear. Have I mentioned this is a big guy?
I did know he was a big guy, which is why it hurt so much when he hit me last time.
Yes. But you do hit him twice. Good work there, Brian. Where are you going to... Yeah, well, you moved up to him, so I assume you're going to stay there.
I can't move away without provoking an attack of opportunity.
You could
so
shift
I'm
right
going
if you
to-
want. I mean, you could move underneath him if that matters to you. You also don't have to. I'm just, letting you know you could.
No, I think I am going to move underneath him, basically because otherwise I don't think Waves can get anywhere near, but I don't know what they're planning to do, so I'm going to
Hey,
move there.
you saw me teleport 2 turns ago. I did a cool thing, and nobody said anything.
It was
There
I was
was
so
a
quick, I
lot of
didn't even
stuff going
There's been a
on.
lot going on in the last 18 seconds of everyone's lives. Okay, good stuff. Brian, you'll be shocked to hear that this guy is going to attempt to attack you again.
I don't doubt it for a second.
He is going to attack you 3 times. And that is, if I can get my thing up here, we are looking at oh god, too many windows. A 25, a 12, and a 26.
2 of 3 hits.
25, a 12, and a 26. Okay. All right. Don't worry, he's not using it two-handed. It could have been worse. Okay. 1, 3, 4. All right. So he is going to do another 18 points of damage to you, slashing Brian. You were wrong. You could take another hit like that. Barely.
Well, I am now broken and bleeding
Yeah.
and barely on my feet, but I took the hit.
Good stuff. Ogman's going to stay where he is. Ozymandias is still unconscious. That leads us to Waves. Morthwill is on deck. Waves, what would you like to do?
Osmanis was unconscious. We have 2 Sean Beans and the big guy, right?
That is correct.
I wish I could talk better. Brian looks also nearly dead now, right?
Pretty much. 2 hit points and a dream.
You can do it.
I really don't think I can stop Ogmund no matter what kind of diplomacy I try to do. Okay. In that case, I move forward and attack him again.
Okay.
Can I? Did it move? No.
Are you on the
Why is it
line
not?
tool?
Yeah, maybe you're on the line tool because
Hey,
Or the
wait.
measure tool on the left-hand side?
Yeah,
There we go.
Thank you, Mike.
Sorry,
Sometimes I need a
I
little
did
bit
that
of
the other
help.
session. I was like, why am I just measuring stuff?
you're just planning. Go.
And then with Morpheus,
Okay,
why are you measuring stuff?
Yeah. Certain sense of dread.
Everyone just stay where you are. I need to bring out my slide rule.
17
17
for
will hit.
number 1. Could I just closed everything. That was very smart of me. And then there we go. 10. And second attack. So 14. Let's do a d4 to this. 18
will hit. Yeah, that bless doing some work.
And
Whoa.
14. And
So-
I'm gonna push him back again.
So 24. Lethal or non-lethal here, Waves?
Non-lethal because I'm afraid of green.
Let's see. All right. So you bash him into
And I'm
in
gonna
the skull.
push him back.
All right. Hurt. Okay. Good stuff, Waves. You moved up. You did that. You pushed him.
Yep.
So that leads us, I believe, to Morthwill with Silvo on deck. Morthwill, what'd you like to do? You still have a couple guys who were hurt. The one here... sorry. On OBS. The one here is looking reasonably hurt. The other one a little less so.
Yes. So, as for my bonus action, Mr. Whippy is just going to turn on its spot and click whoosh again.
Okay. Stop it! All right, let's see if he can make... He also continues not to make any of the deck saving throws. Oh, he does this time! Hey, let's hear it for the
Oh,
guy who's been flamed multiple times.
So he takes 5 damage.
5 damage. Okay, yeah, starting to look very hurt now. Okay.
Okay. Well, desperate times, desperate measures. Time to break out my last Scorching Ray.
Okay. Range spell attack. Now,
Yeah,
technically, because you are technically within range of them, do you want to shift right or left next to Mr. Whip? Well, Mr. Whippy's next to you, so do you want to shift right next to Green's brush, basically? Because this is a ranged spell attack, so if you're, they're right
Yeah,
up on top of you,
better.
basically.
Yeah, better add. So I'll shift to that. And then, Scorching Rays all around. So,
okay.
Let me see.
Focusing on the two that are up.
Probably on the 2 Sean Beans.
Yep,
yeah,
yep.
the Bean twins.
Unbelievable. Ned Stark and Boromir. I just can't believe it.
This is for every movie you survived.
One does not simply get crushed.
Okay,
All right.
I'll do 1 against the top guy and 2 against the bottom guy.
Sounds good.
Okay, right. So, sheet.
Let's keep barbecuing them. It's what they're doing, Gaia.
Yeah. First attack. That's going to be 12 plus another d4 from the bless. Ooh. 12.
16.
16.
Pretty clutch.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have hit otherwise. Yes, that will hit.
Oh, good. Excellent. So he's going to take 7, and I'm going to channel my bonus d4 in it, because sod this guy, die already. 8 points of damage.
He is now tottering back and forth, but is not quite dead. He's just like a stiff
Why
breeze.
won't you die?
Why aren't you dead? All right. Okay.
All right,
and then
no,
the other
second
dude?
Scorching Ray. No, yeah. Can I cherry target, or I've already declared them, I guess.
I think, yeah. That you have
Yeah,
to do
no,
the
that's
one on the
fine.
one, because
All
it's all
right, well, okay.
simultaneous.
Yeah, 2 to the south then. First one going out. It's 12 plus 13 plus bless. 14.
14 is not enough.
Okay, hang on. Is that a half damage or is that just a... I think it's a... Yeah, it's a ranged attack, so it's a miss. Okay. Never mind.
All right.
I'm a little pressured here.
Yeah.
And 20... Well... Just roll the d4 because sodded.
24. Certainly a lot of hit. Yes, that will hit quite a bit. All the things, all the hits.
Oh, it's 25 because of my arcane focus.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, the 25 miraculously somehow misses.
Yeah, for 5
Yeah,
points
24 would have hit. 25,
Yeah, exactly.
you're right out.
Okay.
It became showy at that point.
All right. Good stuff, Morth Wheel, and you already moved to be able to make this happen. So that's going to bring us up to Silvo. All right, Silvo. You were looking around. Something is brushing your ear. And you see Osmandius is unconscious on the ground. You're pretty sure you remember having snapped his neck, but he seems to be breathing. These two ones are still fighting, although one is exceedingly hurt. And the big guy is pushed away and looking angrier all the time.
So over the last, how long is it around? Like 10 seconds?
6 seconds.
Like since Silvo has been woken up, basically, and healed by Green. He's just sort of been stood there sort of looking at his hands in this sort of like 1,000-yard stare moment. And he looks over at Green, who has positioned themselves between him and Ogmund. And he will walk up to the side of Green and go, all right, no murder, non-lethal, you got it. And he's going to point both of his hands towards Ogmund. Now, does Ogmund look still like hale and hearty, or is he like...
Pretty, I mean, he's been knocked around a bunch, but he's not near death yet. Although he has been hit for a lot of non-lethal damage. So I am calculating that too. He looks bruised, let's put it that way.
Anecdotally, Sean Bean 1 up here is, strong breeze and he'll go over.
Yes.
Sean Bean 2 looks all right.
Yeah, hurt, but not
All right-ish.
right on the edge of death, yeah.
Okay, so at second level, I'm going to cast Sleep.
Ooh, interesting.
90-foot range. Basically, I roll 5d8, but that changes at second level. I can roll 7d8. And then creatures within... Oh, no, sorry. I do apologize. Creatures within 20 foot of a point I choose. Is there a point I can choose where sort of 10, 20, 10, 20... It's probably not a point between 20 feet of everyone, is there?
No. You'd have to do one that would... It would basically would have to be either go for the guys on the left or the guy on the right.
Okay.
And Ogmund has been hit for a lot of non-lethal, so...
Yeah, I'm just going to go for Ogmund.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast Sleep on him. And instead, if it's okay with you, I'm going to cast it at normal first level rather than second level.
Okay, all right. Got it.
No, actually, no. I will cast it at second level, sorry. So just in case, safer than sorry. So just in case they all roll terribly. So yeah, he's going to point his hands out at Ogmund. So like, scrunch his brow a bit and just be like the moment in Avengers where Tony starts like, go to sleep, 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 go to sleep.
Yeah.
23 points.
23 points. Okay.
So
give me a second. I'm calculating also the non-lethal that was already done. Okay. So having done that, you see him take a step forward and you aren't gonna and falls over snoring loudly on his face. Seeing this, you're all sort of like staring at that. And then you hear a shout come from the direction of the Abbey. And looking over at the Abbey, you hear, first of all, someone yelling, "Put down your weapons, you fool! You all know that you're not going to measure up to these. Osmandius was an idiot. You know that as well as I do. Don't be an idiot with him." And you see it's Bayleaf. And as the two guards are staring down at the unconscious figure of Ogmund and the equally unconscious figure of Ozymandias and the not unconscious but highly dead figures of the others who were up here, both of them sort of like take a step back and slowly sheathe their sword. And Bayleaf steps forward and nods, and he says, "That's better. I didn't want to see anything get more unpleasant. Now that someone reasonable is in charge, can we please talk about how to get off this island?" And that's where we're going to bring our session to a close for today. My goodness, I don't even know, which means, by the way, next session is going to be a baller session in terms of role play. What did you do? I don't know. That was something else.
What did you do? I teleported.
Yeah, I know. Poor Waves is going to be like, but did you see what I teleported? And everyone's like, no, but what happened with Silvo? Green, why did you, what the frick? Waves is like, but look at me. That was something else. I am very excited to see what the role play part of this is going to be now that the party has eliminated a threat. And I didn't know exactly how the party was going to do this, to be honest. I wasn't sure if they were going to keep going and bring them on the way out. Well, I think there was some disagreement among you about maybe quite how to do it. Not your fault. Not any one of your faults. You were all doing it the right way.
We need proper leadership.
Yeah.
Could somebody please?
Favorite part of that, though, had to be the green revivify followed by the brush cleaning. Was really great because it was absolutely like an RP moment that is on top of Silvo's deal. So I can't wait to see what happened with that. That and the fact that every 3 seconds Morthwill was like flame on, flame on, flame on, flame on. And then Waves with the constant Misty Step. I also love the freaking distractions. That was hilarious.
I still have that for like 59 more minutes as well after this encounter.
No, I mean it was very impressive. And then Brian, just enough health to be able to hang in there, to be able to tank 2 of those hits. But oh, and also the other thing is too, Silvo, that is about as clutch as slow as it gets, because these guys would have been hauling off like 2 attacks from each of the guards, 3 attacks from Ogmund. All of these, everything got screwed up because of the fact that you had the slow on them, and they resolutely did not want to not be slow. They were like, yes, please make me slow again. So it was great. Really, really enjoyed seeing this. I will start, Bruce, with you, and I really was fascinated to see how things went down with Green, and I mean, I guess we'll find out in the next session, but I'm really curious to see how Green is going to, I mean, is Green like, okay, my God has been satisfied now that I've like refused to make conscious a person who murdered somebody else? Like, I guess we'll find out, but I'm just very curious to see how Green is going to feel about things. And the fact that people started being super frightened of you because they were like, wait a minute, don't screw with Green. Okay, everyone do non-lethal. Like, everybody switched to non-lethal pretty much, except for Brian, who was really mad at Ogmund. But everybody else switched to non-lethal at that point, on at least Ogmund that you were looking at. So I'm very curious to see how Green manages things. How did you feel about today and about Green's reactions and stuff? And where will the folks see you next?
Yeah, I was really I wasn't really sure how Green was gonna handle combat. Like, it's one thing against like skeletons, but against like conscious living humans who've just like made some bad decisions, or humanoids.
Especially have their necks snapped by tentacles as well.
Yeah, I think as well it was a shock for me as a player, just because I think I happen to have just been in campaigns only in D&D where we have sort of like house rules, I guess, that if you are a good alignment character, you would never murder anyone. You always would like non-lethally. And so I was genuinely had a real moment of shock when we were just like murdering people. I was like, oh, I've never been in a campaign before where we murder people like in D&D. So it was part Green and part genuine shock from me, like, oh yeah, this is how people play D&D when they're not just like in their little living rooms playing it with Batman rules.
But I mean, you're just so I can say, but having said that, it led to I mean, in fairness, these were evil creatures. I'm not saying you're wrong, I agree, but they were evil creatures. In fairness, I think a lot of people would have trouble if they were like, here's an innocent child that you murdered. The DM actually would have had a problem with that. But I think it allowed for a really interesting moment of role play to see what comes out of this next, because it may adjust the party's thinking about this actually. But anyway. Yes. And
the fine folks will find me next on this very stream. I am a By the Dice Roll exclusive, so you can only find me by continuing to watch this fine stream.
I love it, and yes, exclusive. That's by exclusive engagement. Very, very cool. Thank you, genuinely, Bruce. That was a lot of fun to watch play out. And hopefully the shock was hopefully it gave you a way through because I don't also want anyone to feel uncomfortable. But we will address all of that anon. But thank you, good stuff today. Also great stuff, Brian Ananda out of Brian today. Really enjoyed watching Brian sort of like, for some reason you just had the mono thing going for a while with Ogmund, and like the part where you're down and like looking at your shoes, and like Green is like, well, the thing about the laces and all that, and Ogmund's just finally like had it. I think you had enough of each other, you and Ogmund at that point, and so you were not going to allow that situation to continue, I think. So, having said all of that, I am very curious to see how Brian is going to react to everything, including what you saw from Green, etc. So, how'd you feel about today? Where will the fine folks find you next?
Yeah, I really enjoyed today, as always. Brian really didn't like the disdain that was shown towards pirates when we were back in the ruined abbey, and also the bullyish demeanor of Osmond. Yeah, it rubbed her up the wrong way. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to next session to see where this storyline goes. But yeah, really enjoyed it. Thank you so much. But as for me, I'll actually be streaming on my own channel for the first time in forever tomorrow. I've taken quite a few months break due to personal circumstances, which I will explain more tomorrow on my own channel. But yeah, back for the first time in ages. Really looking forward to it. So yeah, that's where I will be.
Good stuff. Thanks, Ananda. Very happy to have you back in the streaming form. So thank you, and good stuff tonight. Mike, obviously, as usual, very eventful situation with Silvo. And it was interesting because it was the tentacles of Hadar or whatever, or the arms of Hadar, that created this first effect where someone was slapped, and the whole snapping the neck followed by green like, you deserve to stay unconscious, was pretty funny. So I am very curious to see, how Green and Silva are going to interact with this going forward. Although certainly you got the message of make sure you keep all the damage non-lethal. Like I said, very clutch slow at the beginning, very clutch sleep at the end, and some periods of unconsciousness and near death in the middle. So standard stuff, I think. How'd you feel about today's session? Where will the fine folks find you next?
I always adore these sessions. You know that everybody knows that. Hook this feeling to my veins, like I always say. I would like to express apologies to Bruce if, as a player, that sort of shocked you. That's absolutely not my intent. But I think it does raise a good point that we never actually, as a group, we never talk about whether we are doing lethal or non-lethal damage. And I think it's a really interesting fact because we just assume it's lethal damage, and I think there should be a clear distinction, especially for someone who has such a reverence for life.
It's true.
And I think one of the things that really came out of Silvo in this session was there was a real kind of handling of his magic. He felt like he was sort of in his own element, and almost, and you'll notice he was surrounded at one point, he kind of felt like this untouchable, cocky teenager. Like he was literally surrounded by enemies and was still like, I don't need to move. I have all these spells available to me. And then summarily got beat the shit out of, basically, which is exactly what he deserved, and exactly what he deserved by Green. You don't deserve to be conscious. 100% hard agree. Like, that's absolutely what would happen in that situation. But the conversations following this are definitely going to be interesting because Silvo, in that moment, wasn't 100% certain what he was doing, but is aware of what he was doing. Like, obviously no excuse, but is aware of what he was doing and sort of felt like he was, okay, that's using that magic, but not how I should be using that magic. Like you've given a kid a loaded gun, essentially, and like this is the moment where we're like, oh, maybe this isn't the best thing in the world. Like it's really cool. He did slow and he slowed everyone down. And my next move was going to be another situational one, like sleep or something like that. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, hey, that's really, oh, you might have gone too far. Like that's don't, yeah.
Which has happened to Silvo before.
Yeah, exactly. And it's balancing that act, which as a player is great because you get to build that sort of character's backstory and the sort of layers of flavor between the players, because there'll be people who, play characters who won't agree with some of the actions and characters who will agree with some of the actions. And like I said, summarily we just assume it's all lethal damage. But I think that's a really interesting point as well, and something that should probably be discussed more in groups. But anyway, you can find me if you want to see more of my stupid voice and face. I will be streaming on my channel on Friday, and I'm not quite sure what I'm going to stream. I don't know if I'm going to stream a horror game or I'm going to stream a game what I have never played, a very famous game what I have never played. Don't know yet.
Oh, cool. I'm excited for that. Thank you, Mike. Great stuff tonight. And moving right along to Dark Saber 2K, or should I say Flame Saber 2K, who spent most of today being like flame on you, flame on you, flame on you, also flame on you. Eventually, filet mignon is what we were talking about. It was just a lot of flame. It was, I just really had this image of just stop that, as you were continually burning people. And also it really was, I mean, just dead on the whole show. He's loose, oh crap, an overload, which given that everybody was trying to at the same time semi-distract and then kind of move things in a different direction, that was fun to watch. And you may have laid a little bit of groundwork with Bayleaf, Morthwill. We'll see what happens in the next session, but you may have laid a bit of groundwork to be able to set this up where Bayleaf now is apparently taking advantage of the situation of the two main kind of bad guys being down for the count. And so we will see how Morthwill handles that, having been the one who most directly dealt with Bayleaf. We will see. But in any case, very good stuff tonight. Also excellent Thunderwave too. Where will the lovely folks find you next? And what do you think of tonight?
It was fantastic. That was so tense. Though. Everyone shifted around and doing different things. I'm like, right, something's got to give. It was like like the showdown at the OK Corral almost, where like everybody's waiting for the first move. It's like something's got to happen as soon as you're like, right, you've all got one action. It's like, okay.
Yep.
That's like it's now or never. So we got might be some interesting discussions with Green about just how our non-lethal flames might work. That could be an interesting discussion.
Yeah,
next
that I was
time.
going to say, like non-lethally attacking like waves, yes. Non-lethal flames, no. With that,
non-lethal artillery, I don't think I understand. But we shall deal with that when we deal with that. As for me, I'm taking an evening off tomorrow because I think I'm going to need it. It's got a busy day, so I'll be back on my channel on Thursday. Probably carrying on with our playthrough of Cyberpunk 2077. Might be a bit of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth now it's out on PC.
Oh, so good, that game. Yeah, highly recommend. Good stuff. Thanks, Saber. Good work today. And again, thanks for Dashboard and Moobot as always. And finally, Pyronjade. Again, your level of distractions where you're just sort of like all these random things, like the song. The song was hilarious, and then you're like, let me do this, let me sing this other thing, and then he's not paying attention to me, and then you do the. And I'm like, what is at this point? You're just sort of like, look at me, like you're just dancing around like a clown, because that's what you were told to do. And then I felt so bad, but at the same time it was hysterical that you're like, look at my awesome Misty Step, and no one's paying attention because everyone's got their own things that they're doing. They're like, yeah, whatever, waves. Anyway, so that was very funny. And waves got hit a little bit, but not much. The rest of your party was taking it on the chin, except for Green, because you were sort of zipping around, trying to do the damage that you needed to do, which was important, and along with that distraction. So it began with distraction, and it ended with an interesting combat, in which you were quite effective at not being hit. How did you feel about today? Where will the fine folks find you next?
In my mind, everybody just assumes now that I just moved really quickly because I'm a very dexterous bird.
That's clearly.
So that is, yeah. Also, I just realized that I don't have a button for surrender, so I tried to find a nice surrender sound bite in the internet. But the only thing I found is this, and well, we're gonna find out one day if it's appropriate.
I don't have time for amateurs. Surrender already.
So.
That's if you ask someone else to surrender, I assume that, right? That's yeah, okay. Lay down your weapons.
So, yeah, I mean, the thing with the non-lethal damage in D&D is it is actually rarely played. I actually found it more or less in Baldur's Gate 3. Like, oh, I can non-lethally attack. Let's attack non-lethally from now on. And it's interesting what we're going to do with this option. Let's see. We're going to find people find me next. Well, whenever is our next playing session, which is, I think, we haven't agreed on it yet, but I think it looked good for February 11th.
I think that's right, because you couldn't do next week, right, Parn?
Yeah, I can't. I'm going to the cinema to watch the old Dune movie.
Oh, that's cool. No, listen, that's important. I had this for a minute. I was like, 3 weeks in a row, we win the scheduling war. But no, 2 weeks plus a break and then a
I'm
week
sorry.
is no. That's a much. I totally understand, and it's still gonna be in order as of February 11th. That's totally fine.
Like one city over, they have the cinema where they show like old 80s and 90s movies on the big screen, like on the really giant screen, and so I'm totally into that.
And a tribute to David Lynch too, obviously as well.
So I'm very much looking forward to that. If it gets cancelled for some reason or I can't go, I'll just let you all know. Also, just letting chat know, I'm back to playing RimWorld off stream again, playing with Anomaly for the first time. And people who know me, like with these kinds of games, I don't read wikis or anything, so I just try to get through, which I've done with RimWorld for a few years now, so my playstyle is a bit weird, I guess. Not sure if anybody's interested in seeing that on stream. Just let me know. There's my Blue Sky account there in chat. I'm pointing at the screen, which is something you can totally see. And
I see it.
Yeah. So very much looking forward to the next session. This one was real fun.
Great stuff. Thank you to everybody for a really excellent session. I enjoyed it a lot. And chat, assuming you agree, and why would you not? Can we please get some love for the awesome crew of By the Dice Roll, which you'll be hearing more from. And again, keep tuned in, chat, because after Ghosts of Saltmarsh, some cool stuff coming down the line as well. But for now, thank you so much to the amazing members of the crew. Thank you to Undeveloped Bruce. Thank you to Ananda. Thank you to Wholesome Horror Gaming. Thank you to Darksaber2K. And thank you to Pyron Jade. Great work, crew. And I will see you folks in a couple of weeks. Bye for
Thanks so much, everyone.
Thank you so
See you
much.
later.
Bye.
Thank you. Miss you. Love you. Bye.
And that chat is going to do it for us for tonight. That was a lot of fun. And yeah, I mean, it's true. Non-lethal damage is not something, there are some specific things where you do that because you want to subdue someone, because you're specifically trying to capture somebody, because you're specifically, but we were dealing here with evil cultists. So the assumption is just do it that way. What I like about what Green did there is that it immediately made everyone be like, oh, because again, they haven't had a chance to, they've only met Green not very long ago, and now they get a chance to sort of see things in a different way. So I am interested to see what that's going to lead to, especially with Silvo and Green. That's going to be very interesting to see that all break down. But otherwise, though, chat, that is going to do it for us. Kilgore is going to be joining us, I think, in about 2.5 hours or so, if I'm not mistaken, or 2 hours and 40 minutes, basically, with some more Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver Remastered 1 and 2. So you'll have to check that out. And as for me, I will be back on my own channel tomorrow night. If you like D&D, tomorrow night we have Waterdeep Dragon Heist. We have the Shadow Crew, which is members of my community that are playing this awesome, really fun campaign. They really have good chemistry with each other. It's a lot of fun to watch, get into a lot of shenanigans. One of the most memorable intro videos that I've seen. It's really good times. So that's coming up tomorrow. Then on Thursday on my channel, more Caves of Kood, which I've been having a great time with as well. And next week, we don't yet have all of February scheduled yet. We're starting to put it in play. I believe on Saturday we have Eberron Oracle of War, though, which is moving towards the end. That's in the midst of a big campaign. That one is level 14. So right now they are wailing away at each other, and this has been a battle of the Titans kind of thing. This has been no joke. So I am going to be interested to see how the party handles things. This is where they were dealing out, one of them was dealing out 57 necrotic damage to the party members and stuff like that. Little bit of a difference between level 4/5 in Ghosts of Saltmarsh and By the Dice Roll and level 14 for the Eberron crew. But that's going to be on Saturday. And then I'll be back here next Tuesday playing Airborne Kingdom as I start up a new game here to give that a shot and see what we think about that. So it should be a good time. And thank you as well to Effect Life for the inspiration tonight, because that was helpful to the crew. Otherwise, though, thank you all for watching. If you liked what you saw and heard, please follow us here on GogCom's Twitch channel. Please consider subscribing to us here on GogCom's Twitch channel, as Ichwar did earlier tonight. And please consider clicking through and checking out our own channels, because most of us have our own Patreons and subsystems and stuff like that. Make sure to check out Ananda's stream tomorrow, because Ananda will be back streaming. So definitely check that out. Check out Darksaber in a couple of days. Check out Wholesome Horror Gaming in a few days. Check out all the people who are streaming and doing all the good stuff. And otherwise, thank you all for watching. I will see you folks on my channel tomorrow night at I think 9 or 9:30 p.m. Eastern, if I'm not mistaken. And otherwise, I will be back on this channel for episode 459 of Pen and Pixels, playing Airborne Kingdom next Tuesday. And tonight, in a couple of hours, 2 hours and 40 minutes, Kilgore Trout with some Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver Remastered 1 and 2. That's it for me. Thanks, everyone. Much love. Thank you for the confirmation, Trivet, and thank you again, Effect Life. And thanks all for watching. Special thanks today to my wonderful By the Dice Roll crew. And I hope you all enjoyed as much as I did. Please spread the word, and I'll see you all soon. Until then, be good to each other. Have a good night.